Hello? Why does this happen? I literally streamed yesterday. What the I didn't touch anything. All right.
Are we good?
Yeah, one sec. Hello everyone, welcome back to Rob's Gaming Table. I'm Rob.
I'm Mel.
And we're here to play Fateforge, Chronicles of Kaan. I said it right that time. But you didn't know because
say it wrong the first time.
I just mimed it because I don't know what happened there. All right, we're good. Hello everyone, thank you for joining our live stream here. We're playing this game live. We're live. And also we're live, and that means we're going to take our sweet ass time playing this game. We're have the live chat with us, helping us on decisions, branching paths. This is a fantasy, cooperative, dungeon crawly, story app-driven campaign game. Which we're kind of like, that's our shtick on the channel. We kind of like sometimes get away from that, need to cleanse our palate, play something else. But we're back. We're gonna dive into another big box game with some miniatures and some dragons and swords and bow and arrows and, you know, try to solve little puzzles and things. And it should be fun. If you want to join us, we play through games like this, sometimes all the way through. Not just play one scenario and kind of, cool, glad we spent hundreds of dollars on that game, next. But full disclosure, this game though, we were provided a copy by the publisher. We were at Gen Con. We went and looked into the game. Shout out to Brant, one of our viewers. Thank you for recommending it when we were looking into games for Gen Con. Brant's recommended stuff in the past, is pretty spot on. Him and his wife were playing this and he said they loved it, and it fits like our wheelhouse, what we like in games. So we should have fun with it. So I went to the booth, I watched a demo of it, they explained the whole game to me, and I was like, all right, do you guys have any review copies? And they were like, hold on, let me just check. And then the guy was like, oh, Rob? Oh, we know, yeah, we'll get you one, no problem. And then they were like, trying to give me a second copy somehow by accident, because the one guy forgot to tell the other guy. And yeah, they were like, even after Gen Con was over, they were calling me and like, trying to find me in the city, like, we can come and find you, get you a copy. I'm like, I already got the copy. It's all good. We're good. But thank you for providing a copy. So full disclosure, we didn't pay for it like we usually pay for games. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Why is that logo over top of Adam's alert?
Oh.
That's it. We got to start over again.
Uh-oh.
Son of a... yeah, that looks good.
Adam, thank you for 27 months. Thank you so much.
Adam's been a producer for 27 months here on YouTube. Thank you for clicking that join button 27 months ago. Oh, someone's getting old. What? Take your time. Enjoy your game, Rob. Blasphemy, LOL. Yeah, so if you clicked on this video, it might be a little longer than other playthroughs you've seen, but we do it live. We explain the game. We play the game. We talk with our chat, answer questions, and kind of explain everything we're doing. We'll even give our thoughts throughout it. So it'll be a little longer. It's a more kind of complete experience. But of course, if you're here live, you get to sit through all that. If you're watching later, you get to scrub through whatever you don't want to watch, kind of thing. There it is.
Thank you. Jackpotman's just testing it out for us.
There you go. So now it pops up in front.
Thank you, thank you. 35 months.
35 months, Jackpot Man. Thank you so much. Says, I'm getting old too.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yogi has been a member for 25 months.
Wow, thank you, Yogi.
Thank you so much for the support.
Thank you.
You take a week, roughly a week off, being sick, and look at all the bugs YouTube introduced for you. Yeah, I know. Yesterday was a little buggy too, but we'll get there. Yeah. Still, my voice is a little weird. I've been sick for a couple weeks, getting over it. I kind of wore out my throat yesterday in our 3-hour Star Wars Unlimited unboxing stream. I talked way too much, took way too long. I was having so much fun seeing brand new cards I've never seen before. So we took our sweet ass time, played that, talk through it. Chat was explaining who certain characters were from Star Wars IP properties that I've never watched or seen, you know. Janet. Nope, Jacko. Thank you for being a member for 22 months.
Thank you, Jacko. No message attached.
Thank you so much, Mike.
Thank you.
Janet, member for 43 months. Looking forward to another campaign. I'm older.
Janet, thank you so much.
Yeah, Janet, you're like older than yesterday, yes. But like old, no. I wouldn't put you in that category.
Thank you all for testing to make sure that worked after Rob
did
that. Thank you.
I do a little joking jab, and then they're all like, oh, yeah? Oh, yeah?
Thank you so much.
Dragon says, Janet, your avatar doesn't look a day over 4 months. Matthew, good to see you, buddy. Says a member for 33 months. Woo! Glad to see you both back healthy. We'll see.
We're getting there.
We got some cough candies ready and stuff. Yep. Stop kissing random people and getting sick. Hey, sometimes I just get excited. You know, I'm grocery shopping, and then things happen. You know, things happen. Police are called, you know, all this stuff. Anyway, we won't get into the rest of that, but
yeah, we don't know where it began. But
Adam, thank you for the super chat.
Thank you.
I love being the young one in this group. Jackpot man.
Thank you.
For 43 months. Janet's old AF. LOL. Listen. I don't care how long you've been supporting the channel, Jackpot man. I will ban you. You never talk bad about Janet ever. Only I can do that. Okay. Only I can do that. And then Janet writes it on a little chalkboard list of how many times she's going to slap me, punch me, all this, say bad words to me at Gen Con later. It'll be great. No, I'm just kidding.
Thank you.
I'm getting silly. All right. For those that are here for the playthrough, sorry. Our community is, you know, most channels will say this is the best community around, you know, their community is and stuff. I can't usually say that about my community, so I apologize. I don't know where they get this idea to act so silly and, you know, not be so professional and stuff. Come on. This is serious business here. This is not a game. It's a game, but not a game, you know? All right. Anyways, thank you for the support, guys.
Thank you so much.
And thank you to all these people scrolling by here, too, for supporting us, our members and patrons. Thank you for you guys. Without you guys, we wouldn't be here doing this. We wouldn't be able to afford all this stuff. I wouldn't be able to do this full time. We wouldn't be able to sit here on a Saturday playing these games for you guys and kind of playing what we want as long as we want. So that does allow us to play, like, campaign games, like, you know, longer than one scenario and move on to the next one and stuff. Of course, if we stop liking it or we're not having fun or nobody's watching, no one cares, we will stop the campaign. So do not... If you're looking at the playlist and you're like, oh, there's only 3 episodes and the last one was like months ago, then yeah, we're probably not continuing it. We moved on to something else, so keep that in mind. But as long as you're watching, hit that like button. Helps other people find the similar videos that they like and find the channel and stuff. We'll just keep playing, and if we're having fun, we'll keep playing. But what we're going to do is explain the game in a sec, and then we'll play through it. We have played the first tutorial scenario, so we're not completely blind, but we played that like 4 days ago. So... normal people would have remembered almost everything that happened, but I just forget things and too much going on, so it'll be kind of blind. Mel is playing with a character she didn't play during that, so she's playing her character blind too. I've played mine in there, but yeah, we have a little bit of a feel how the game gets started and how the tutorial works, but we'll still play that with you guys and explain how it works. And you guys will experience the game beyond that with us. Everything fresh. Like, we're going to get new rules added. It's kind of like a little legacy style the first time you play through the campaign, where you learn about locations and you learn about rules that slowly get added to the game to add complexity. The first campaign you play through is kind of like they consider it kind of a learning experience. They'll slowly reveal things to you, but the next, you can replay the campaign as much as you want, although you obviously know all the rules then. You'll have seen all the surprises behind the sticker panels and stuff. You'll have opened up all the boxes that you put all your enemies in and have experienced them and stuff. But the first time through, you'll slowly experience things for the game, and they kind of like will reveal things to you as you go, which is kind of neat. So we're going to do that here with you.
Adam's message first, sorry.
Yeah, I'm just reading Minion. I'm going to look into that right now.
I meant to tell you that yesterday. I totally forgot.
Yeah, there is some settings YouTube's like pushing, and like I kind of maybe when I was sick was like, all right, let's set up some of these things and go through what YouTube's telling me to set, and like I'll fix that. I'll fix that. Okay, I think I know what it's doing. For Adam's super chat, for cough drops and warm chicken soup, feel better you too. Got hit this week too.
Oh,
yeah,
I'm sorry.
I read something online too. People like in one like our province, like I'm in their subreddit, and there's like people. Somebody posted was like, is anyone like also getting sick like a couple times a year? Where like before COVID you would get sick rarely, and now it's like multiple times a year, and like it goes around more often, even in like off seasons and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, I've like I was sick for like a month and a half earlier this year, I remember, in like February/March or around there. Mm-hmm. Sick again now, like usually around the holidays, something I get something. So like post Gen Con I was fine, but I think it was right.
Yeah.
But usually I'll get some con crud there, but that's like unrelated, right? That's not like a local thing. But yeah, I've noticed that lately. Is like, and then it hits me harder, and like I also have like some kind of chest cough, and like that doesn't play well with your talking on stream for hours. It's not the most pleasant experience to be coughing into a microphone in people's ears, but yeah, I've noticed that too. So like, I don't know if it's a thing now where like just our immune system's getting hit by like the COVID pandemic every year, like pounding our immune system has made it like more easy for other things to kind of jump in there too. I don't know.
And I got sick back to back. Like I was sick, and then I
Yeah.
was good for a week, and then I got sick again.
And
With something
I
different.
didn't get what you had the first time.
yeah.
It was different, and I dodged that. But then
Yeah.
I got sick with you the second time you got sick, which is weird.
I don't know what happened.
Yeah. My daughter comes home, she's sick from school and stuff. Not sick from school, but gets sick.
Yeah.
Brings stuff home, and then like you tell she's a little.
But this time she didn't get whatever we had.
Yeah, it's very
which is
weird.
weird.
Very weird. Oh yeah. So I don't know. But anyways, hopefully we're good now. But all right.
Sorry, one more. Addie has one.
I guess.
Sorry.
Addie. I'm just joking. Addie, member for 20 months. Thank you. Plus 24 Patreon months. I
Thank
know.
you so much. Yes.
Thank you for that. I don't have that information available for those who've been patrons for this long and YouTube. And the hard part is some patrons are YouTube members and they also overlapped. So it's like adding that and figuring out who has been a member for this long, but then overlapping for this long and then this long. Like, you know, but I appreciate the support. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
These are the problems I deal with. Big, serious problems. Thank you for the support. All right. Boom. So, oh yeah, I need to fix the other issue. Because there's like even new buttons and stuff. I have a way I can like delay ads. They're like doing what Twitch does, and eventually it's going to get worse. They'll just keep pumping ads. They want you to buy YouTube Premium, right? And if they don't pump additional ads, that's why ads on all services have been cranked, because that's why like all streaming services are doing it too, where they just start adding ad-free tiers, and then we make your current tier full of ads. So now you need to up your subscription. Instead of just raising the price, they've just given another reason to force you into another tier higher that will then raise the price on that eventually. So it's just another scam. But yeah, it's annoying. It's like double dipping, man. You don't charge a subscription and then also make ad revenue off ad companies. Like the idea of charging a subscription so you don't have to rely on ad companies, like that was the way it was for decades. Now it's like companies are just double dipping. They don't give a crap. It's crazy.
Oh, Minnie says they're upping the price of YouTube Premium.
There you go. That explains, like, every time I schedule a stream, it's like pushing it in my face. Like, turn on auto ads. We're going to do this.
They already, sorry, not eventually. They increased the premium price.
It is so annoying. So annoying. But the only way to avoid ads completely on YouTube legally is to buy YouTube Premium. But yeah, I try not to do ads during play, but I have no way to like control it like that. Like, it's weird.
Because we don't want you guys to miss anything.
Yeah. Hold on. Jeez. I'm just looking at the settings.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they changed these settings too. It's like different. I have it not set to do it, I think.
I wonder if it's just...
No, hold on. Live ads. Let YouTube insert ad rolls for you recommended. That's not checked. Choose how they appear. Set the frequency. No, I have it set to insert manually, which I'll do when we take breaks sometimes if I remember. But yeah, apply these. I don't know. Oh, but there's a new option. Apply these settings to streams created on third-party tools. I don't do that unless I'm doing from a mobile stream. I don't know. Oh, this is defaults. I see. Oh, my defaults are set, right? So what happened here? Okay, one sec. Sorry, guys. This is awkward. How do we do it on the current one? I bet when I was scheduling it, I was like, yeah, sure, click this. Yeah, okay, yeah. You want me to do that? Sure, whatever. I don't care. I'm not thinking. Ah, here it is. Choose. Oh, right now it's like set to balanced. But I can put it on conservative. Or, oh, hold on, choose how. Yeah, they kind of hide it now. Insert. Okay, there's my setting I used to use. Perfect. All right.
They hide it though for you.
Yeah. So thank you to those who support the channel by clicking the join button that allow me to not care so much about ads running through a stream, even though YouTube wants to, you know, literally open my mouth and like shove ads, shove them down everyone's throat, give them all the ads. Eventually I won't have control over that. I know they'll just take it away and be like, yeah, sorry. And then what it'll do every time you come in my stream, it'll be like, oh, an ad's about to start. YouTube Premium. YouTube Premium. Buy YouTube Premium. You don't want to see ads? YouTube Premium.
I think on the phone it asks you that like every month.
Yeah, they'll get super aggressive with it. You'll see. I'm trying to fight as long as I can. Thank you guys for like super chats and all that stuff. Helps me avoid that. I'm hoping like when they have super chats and things like that stops them from needing to do the ad craziness. But they're like, man, they'll take any chance they can, and they're probably like listening to what I'm saying right now with an AI, and they're gonna like ban me from YouTube in a sec. But anyways. Like, oh, if the stream stops, guys, you know what happened. The Google robots got me. Oh, yeah. Matthew says, that's why I am premium. I get enough ads from you, Rob. Yeah. Today's stream is brought to you by... all right, so this is Fateforge, Chronicles of Kaan. Best with 1 to 2, 1 to 4 players supposedly. 60 minutes playing time. This is really cool, though. When I was looking into it, I was like, 60 minutes, my ass. There is no fantasy dungeon crawler game that has a story and combat after and possibly like a rest phase where you like visit things and heal and buy items that ever happens in under 60 minutes. This game kind of does fit that. And the coolest part, it auto saves the app anytime. Anytime you just want to stop playing, you can stop. There is ways of saving the game. Obviously, it's better to save after you're finished a combat, so you don't have to like reset everything up and take a picture, whatever, but you can exit whenever and it'll save. And there's little tuck boxes you'll see in a sec where you kind of save all your stuff in little baggies and put it in the tuck box so you know where your current health is and what skills you have, what items you have and stuff. So with that said, you can play like a little story and a little combat session in 60 minutes and then clean up the game. And you can, for sure. We've done it off stream. But you can, if you want, if you're like, oh no, man, I love playing fantasy games that take all day, Frosthaven, you can just keep playing and keep going. And it never tells you like, oh, you should save here and you should stop here. No, whenever you feel like it's the time to stop, just follow the little paragraph of instructions on what to put in what box. And it takes like a couple minutes and your game is saved, which is super cool. So you can make it a 3-hour play session every time if you want, or a 2 or a 1 hour, whatever you want. You just play till you're done. Is kind of what they say in the rulebook to do if you want, which I found super appealing for being a streamer. It's like, oh, okay, if we have a weeknight and like, you know, Mel, let's say has to get up early the next morning, it's like we could still play. And like, I debated playing this game with Kyle at 3 players, but people who on BGG say it's best 1 to 2, so I trust those numbers on this website are 100% accurate. Anyways, but yeah, that's we'll be playing just 2. But yeah, I like that flexibility. The weight is 2.75. Current ranking, if anyone cares, for fun, sometimes we play through full campaigns. As we play a couple times each week, we'll kind of check on how the rank overall is doing, especially for a newer game. This did come out this year, 2024. If you're looking for more information on it, I have included a link in the video description to the game's website where you can read all about it. You can check out the rule book. The expansion rule book is all there if you want to like totally read the rules and you don't, you know, I'm not going to go over every single thing here as we're explaining it, but obviously as we play through it, you'll see all the rules and all the things as we go. And the publisher is Mighty Boards, if you're curious.
But under 5,000 and it just came out is not terrible.
Yeah, especially like big box kind of fantasy Kickstarters with miniatures and campaigns is like literally there's one every 10 minutes that pops up on a crowdfunding website. And not all are great and not all deliver even years within when they're supposed to. And this one's a little different. I found this kind of refreshing. I was saying this on stream the other day when we played this off stream. I was expecting like the story in the app, it just kind of replaces the book, but also has branching paths. Also kind of balances the game a little bit as you go on. You tell it how much your health is, what kind of items you're grabbing in the scenario, how many chests you open and stuff. It'll kind of balance the game as it goes forward, kind of like a Pandemic Legacy kind of style where like if you keep winning multiple months in a row in that game, it'll kind of like increase the difficulty. And if you start losing, it'll kind of give you some handouts to kind of help you like keep the difficulty like balanced for you, which is neat. This kind of does that too, built into the app. But it does have hidden story stuff, branching paths, traveling across the map, trying to find things and stuff. It's really neat. But enough delay. We'll get to that, I guess. All right, here's some of the stuff in the box. It's not the biggest box or anything, but there's a lot of stuff in this game. And I just want to show some of it on screen here. We'll clean some of this off the screen. But like I said, there is like a story phases to it. We're going to read a little letter in the box. We've seen this in a few games lately. It's like kind of a thing to get you started in the story. Read a little letter like, why are we doing this? And here's your stories kick off before you even get into the mandatory app. That is only on iOS and Android. Kind of was like lame. There's no Steam version. It's not a web app. So if for some reason you're not using iOS on a device, they recommend a tablet, obviously for the bigger screen. I'm sure you could cast your screen off of a phone and stuff to get it on a bigger screen, play it on a TV or something like that. But there is no way to just like easily like run it on Steam or something to like play it on your bigger computer monitor, laptop or whatever. There are ways, but it's like not, you still need that OS, which is kind of limiting. Unfortunately, we've been spoiled a few times lately. We played some app required games and they're all web apps. So as long as you have a browser, they'll like always be browsers, you know what I mean? Yeah, sure, they'll change some of like the markup languages and stuff like that. So could create some issues, but easier to support a web app on any device that can run a web browser, right? So you can use your fridge if you have one of those. Yeah, but this one you can't. It's only iOS and Android. So just keep that in mind if that is an issue for your gaming setup. But the app is required. That will scare some people away for sure. There's some old school haters out there who don't like technology at their table. I don't mind, obviously, as I have TVs, cameras, lights, everything, microphones, audio mixers all around us. But here we have tons of tokens and things, obviously tons of dice. We have our player boards, dual layer cardboard boards where we track our health and energy that's available. We have a little pile down here, a little spot down here where it goes when it's used. We'll have combat dice that will roll. That'll give us abilities in our combats. There's some dice mitigation. There's some skills that allow you to use the faces on dice to get some abilities and things. This is your initiative tokens. You'll see that in combat. The enemies in the game are little cardboard discs, and they have their own little tuck boxes where they're all saved in. So I assume some of the earlier enemies are all in the same box and the later enemies will be in their own box. So we only need a couple boxes to get started here. I'm pretty sure it's these two. No, it's these two. Yeah, these two. These two I'll put back in the box. But just showing you that the enemies are not a bunch of miniatures you have to paint. So another reason we could get into the game pretty quickly, we only had the hero miniatures basically to paint, and they go in this little holder here. These containers do come with the game to hold all your tokens very nicely. I love it. Very easy to set up. They have little lids for them. And this one comes with the game. Has your like food and time tokens and stuff, some spare energy, some skill dice to roll, the D6 for breaking ties and things. Here's your currency in the game, your gold or money or rubies, whatever they're called. Different denominations. Yellow or 1, like blue. They're on here on this board. 3, red or 3, blue or 5s. They're very nice looking. This is just the retail edition, by the way. We're not playing with the deluxe edition, which would have wooden discs for the enemies, I think. And I think some of these tokens are wooden and stuff in the deluxe we saw at Gen Con. But this is just a retail copy, which I mean is pretty nice actually. Like the cardboard is like really thick on the tokens, like some of the thickest cardboard I've seen in a board game in a while. So they didn't chintz out on that at least. And then you have some stun cubes and generic cubes, enemy damage cubes here. And these are all just kept in a nice tray. We'll just put those off screen though, but I just wanted to show you all the crazy stuff we'll have. And then here's some extra dice. Some of these are dice tied to weapons that we'll see when we get some items and things and open some chests. And yes, for those loot goblins out there, you've heard me bitch about this before in other fantasy games. Super small thing, but it bothers me in games when you open a chest in the middle of a dungeon crawling scenario and you get a super cool item and they tell you go put it somewhere and you can't use it till later in another scenario, or craft it later, or trade it with some action in a out of combat phase to another player, and then they can equip it and use it. No, in this game you get it. If you can hold it, you can use it. You take it right then and you can start hacking up enemies or whatever it is with the item right away, which I was like, that is awesome. So a little foreshadowing there, but I was quite impressed by that. Yeah, this is the big things I care about. Dual layer cardboard and getting your loot right away in a scenario and using it right away. Everything else is just icing. The rulebook I want to just shout out here. Usually we give our thoughts and things at the end of this stuff, but the rulebook, pretty clean. This game, you saw the complexity is 2.75. The rulebook is only like 25-ish pages. There is no table of contents or index, which is kind of lame, but they do have a reference on the back for all the symbols you need to know in the game. And it does have this beautifully done little reference sheet for all the combat phases with all the details you need to know. It really reduces you having to look in the rulebook, so the table of contents and lack of index don't really hurt it that much because most of the stuff is right here on these cards. They give you one for each player. I love it. I need to shout this stuff out because companies need to like get with it, you know. And they do a great job of making sure there's reference material so you don't have to pick up the rule book and look through it, which is great. But one neat thing, like I said, they will slowly, the rules is only about 20-ish pages. So keep in mind, like some dungeon crawler kind of games like this we play are like 60-page rule books, and you need to know every little thing before you can even start. This, they give you like 20-ish pages of rules. But then as we play, like I said, it locks some rules away, kind of like a legacy game. But they're all here if you want to read them. But as we unlock rules, you just mark them off in your first run of the game. And yes, you can permanently mark them off. It's fine, because the next time you play, you'll already know all these rules, and they're totally fine to know them in advance. It's okay. They're just doing this for new players, your first time playing through the game. Let's not overwhelm you. So don't read these yet. Just read the 20-ish pages of rules, then start playing. The rest will introduce to you as it's needed, which I like that a lot. That's like a cool little compromise there, but definitely thinking about the new player getting into their game. And I respect that very highly. Not everyone is like played Gloomhaven and, you know, wants to read 60-something pages before they start playing a game, like, which I love. But yeah. We have little tuck boxes for saving. In here are my skill cards I have not purchased for level 1. My little baggie is in here to save my current health and things and current skills I have. You put them in the baggie and then put them in here. And then the rest you don't currently have, or your used energy and health, just get dumped in the box to keep things separated, which is very clean, easy setup. So we have one for each character. There are like five characters in our game. They all have like a little tuck box. And then this is our party bag. It is represented by a little cardboard token that sits on the board to remind us this is where we put food and gems we're picking up and how much they're worth. You just put them on here as you're playing. And when you're ready to save, literally just put them in here, and it's everything that's accessible to the party. You even can put items and stuff you find here if no one wants to equip it or has room to equip it during a scenario. Just throw it in the party bag, and then outside of combat, you can trade and re-equip and all that stuff. And then when you're saving, just throw everything in here that you need, including our initiative tokens will just go in here. But I just want to show that. You'll see that if we save, which probably won't be today because I'll probably schedule another episode in a couple days from now. So if you want to stick around for that, subscribe, turn on notifications, or check the playlist link in the video description when I do schedule it. You can join us, probably be like Tuesday evening if you're watching live. For us, Tuesday evening, so in like 2 or 3 days, whatever that is.
I can take that over.
But yeah, I just want to show that's what that is. There is a giant map, and it is not just for flavor. There is points of interest on here that are just numbered. So the first time you're playing, you arrive to the city in the story. We'll see that when we get to the app. And we just kind of have this rudimentary map. We've seen this in a few other games where it's like the map might be accurate, maybe a little outdated, not very detailed. But this map, this art matters. You will actually be looking for things on the map and try to direct yourself in the app to find certain locations. And when you find those locations, we haven't done it yet, but you will tear off stickers here. And you don't put them on the map, is my understanding. You just reveal what the locations are. So the first time you play through the game is also discovery, but obviously once you peel the stickers off here, you'll know where everything is. So for future playthroughs, that's totally fine. They just don't want to overwhelm you, and they're kind of being thematic, where like you arrive at this city, you don't live here, you don't know what's going on. You're a mercenary from the forest coming to like overthrow some evil being thing that's here causing trouble or whatever. But these are 2 components in there. So this is a sticker sheet panel thingy that we'll uncover, and you'll see that here. But this map, we actually have a party miniature that will go on this map, and we'll be looking for like little banners and things. You'll see that soon. So it's very detailed, and the art does matter. So like, for example, we might be looking for this statue and need to move there and then to place number 8 or something. This tree, like everything is designed very specifically to like let you know, like, oh, we might be near the tower with the banner key. What is that? Like, what is location number 1? The app will kind of walk us through that, but I just want to show this component before we get into spoiling kind of stuff. If you don't want to stay for too long, I just want to show some of this stuff before we clean it off. And then the campaign, this reminds me a little bit of Sleeping Gods. There is a nice, beautiful box of cards here. And I know from playing a little bit, there's like item cards and enemy cards in here. Story cards that you'll collect, give you like kind of a reminder if you don't play for a week or 2 and you want to know like what's happened in the story we kind of forget. There'll be little reminder cards we'll collect as we go that'll explain some of that story on them. There are skill cards here. And these are the ones we don't have unlocked yet. So this is like our tier 2 skill cards. I'm sure we'll get later. The game is supposed to be 3 chapters of rulebooks, or 3 acts. It's divided up into 3 acts in the rulebook, but each act has multiple chapters, and you'll see that. I'm assuming at some point when we're getting through that, we will reach the point where we unlock level 2 skills, and we'll be able to purchase those, and those will be added to our tuck boxes. But right now they're just in this little card holder thingy. There's traps in here, fear cards, corruption. If we get knocked out, we gain corruption cards that are kind of like permanent-ish bad things that can happen to us. I never want to see those cards, but I'm sure it'll happen. And then there's even a graveyard. When things get removed from the campaign and you're done with them and you'll never see them again, you put them in the graveyard. And there's even enemies that you constantly encounter. You'll just kind of, once they reveal themselves, you can put them behind this one. So then you don't have to dig through here to find all the different enemies. And the cool part is some of the enemies behind here are the different cards. They might be the same enemy, but if you're playing a higher player count, they'll give you a different enemy card to play with that's a little more stronger and stuff. So some of these cards we'll never touch because we're only playing 2-player. And there is a solo mode where you play 2 characters and the difficulty will be increased. Because this game does have that whole thing kind of to prevent alpha gaming, there are, we're not going to play with them on stream. We normally don't do this because we want you guys to follow along and keep all the information open. But this game, when you roll your dice and you get different symbols on them showing you different actions you want to do, these dice faces are supposed to be kept behind a screen, a player screen, and you're not allowed to tell anyone at the table what is on the dice, but you can loosely talk about, I want to go first because I'll be able to handle this enemy and all. It has that stupid Gloomhaven, like, I know it's in there to kind of help with like alpha gamers not being like, no, you go second because you have this symbol and I'll go third and I have this, and like totally gaming the system and like making it a little easier. They want you to have like not perfectly known information because you're in the middle of a combat and you have no idea what exactly your partner is going to do. But we're playing on stream and I want you guys to be able to follow along, and I'm okay if we make it a little bit easier. But if you're playing solo, you're supposed to like turn on solo mode, which makes it harder because obviously you're playing 2-handed. You'll know the dice on both sides. But just so you know, there's a player screen, and if you want to play it as intended, or you're tuning in and you're like, wait, this is not how the rulebook tells me to play, that's how they want you to play it, but we're going to do what we want. So it's our game now, so suckers. We do what we want, but that's what we're going to do. Just so you know, that is in the rulebook when you're reading that, and you'll wonder what those player screens are for. That's what it's for, but we're not using them. But they are here. They're just like little player screens like this. They're literally have no rules on them or anything. They're kind of like whatever, and I'm supposed to keep my dice like hidden, from other players.
Even the way we played, we'd be able to see it on our screen that we have.
Well, no, we could keep it like off screen,
yeah.
and
but then
and,
you guys can't see it.
Exactly why I just said it, Mel. We don't do it
I
because people are watching, and that would make a horrible. You're trying to learn the game, and you're like, I don't know what he rolled and why he's doing that. But even when you're playing with people, it's do whatever you want. Like, it's your game. Once you buy a game, like half the people who write rules for board games don't even know why they wrote those rules. They just copy them from other games and like don't understand. Play the game how you feel it's the most fun, because that's ultimately what the game's supposed to be. So, anyways, yeah, leave your comment down below. Let me know how horrible I am for playing without it. But anyways, all right. So that is the deal here. Let's just keep those over there for now. We have our little miniatures. Mel painted up these miniatures for us. Thank you, Mel. This is my little character. He is the forest guard. He's kind of like the elf archer that's in every fantasy game. And Mel is playing.
I'm playing the nobleman.
The nobleman. So the nobleman has some cool little mini game. He has his little gold cloak. He's balling. He's got the purple color over here. I'm the blue color. But again, there's like 5 different characters to play with. And this is our party miniature. It's a little smaller. This one will be going on the map as we move around the map. Thank you, Mel, for painting those.
No problem.
But yeah, I guess that's... Oh yeah, there's a whole bunch of tiles. I just put them in a little plastic bin here for now. There's no good solution to store these in the game. They literally just go in the box kind of loose, which is kind of sad that there's like, they're not big. They're very generic. They're like all have like 4 different shapes. They're kind of like straight from Tetris here, but...
And they're all double-sided.
But I just have them here in a container off screen, but I just want to show you those components. There's a whole bunch of them. There's a lot, but we don't have to worry about interlocking and lining them up. They're like pretty straightforward. I'll just keep those off screen. I think we've kind of shown most things. Everything else you'll kind of get as we play through. Where'd the map go?
Right here.
Yeah, just throw that up there in the corner. I think we'll need that soon, probably. I think we're good to go. Oh yeah, our player boards. I guess I can show this now. The dual layer cardboard boards are good here to keep everything organized, but it does tell you your starting dice for your character. You can earn more dice in the game, but you'll always roll 4. So if you have like 7 dice available to you as you get weapons and things, you have to pick 4 every round of the combat and choose which ones you want to roll and apply. The others will be set off to the side, but you can change that between round to round. Each character has an ability. Each character has a spot to store a primary weapon, a secondary weapon, and if you have a cumbersome weapon that needs 2 hands, you just kind of put that in the middle here. There's a place to store, you can have a clothing item and then generic like little accessory backpack, whatever items. And then there's your used energy and health go here. And this is your starting. So I have 7 health to start. Whoops. 7 health to start, 3 energy to start, tells me right here. I also have the starting skill perception. You can earn other skills later. And you can just put your skills like anywhere around the board, but obviously not. I wouldn't put them below or to the side because that's where items will go. But we don't have any right now. Items and weapons, I should say. Well, weapons are items, but...
when your die went over.
Yeah, thank you. And then we have this, our initiative. So when we need to set up initiative, we'll have a little tile with our picture. And we know when enemies will always go at the end of the round. And we kind of can put ourselves in there. And then the enemies will have like a reaction step where like random enemies will activate. And you'll see that in our first combat. And that'll go in a certain order. It doesn't matter what order we put those there now. They change up every round. And the cool part is, this game is very like cooperative and puzzly. And I know this is why it was recommended to us. One of the main reasons, it has a preparation phase followed by a combat phase. And the preparation phase is very encouraged to work together and discuss who will go in which order. It will tell you where the enemy reacts, but you can choose the initiative every turn. And that is after you decide whether you want to do dice mitigation and use some skills and stuff. And then the last step before you actually go with the player's turns is to like decide the turn order. So every round we can kind of work it out. Like it's better if you go first based on this. Of course, there's going to be more open information and fully being like, well, I can move and attack 3 times, so maybe I should go first and whatever. But watch out for this enemy, yada yada. But it has that it's a whole phase dedicated to talking it through and working it out and then applying, which is really neat. And I think that's it. Okay. So here's the app. So they recommend using it on a tablet, can run on a phone. It is kind of like vertical, kind of like built for you could tell it was designed for like use on a phone or a tablet using it vertically or whatever. So just keep that in mind. I try to make it as big as I can, just read the fonts, but there's no way to really change the font size in it, I don't think. But I did turn off the music, but I left on the sound effects. I don't know if you'll be able to hear them, but the music, they like really promote it, that it's like Sirenscape. They have like a booth at Gen Con always, in the hallway there playing music, and they do music for board games. Obviously they like signed up for it, so they have Sirenscape, I think it's called, music in the game. So if you like fantasy music playing in the background, they have all that stuff from that company, which is kind of cool. I just have it off. I don't want like YouTube copyright strikes or anything weird happening from that and hurting the channel. So there's the solo mode. There's also a battle mode. If you don't care about the story stuff and don't want to sit there in the app reading through story, you just want to get to fights and go through this fight mode, they have this battle mode that's literally like, I tried it out a little bit. It's basically like, just instead of going through a story and getting some items and gold and whatever, it's like, it'll just get you to the combats. And it has these like combats designed to go one after the other. And they just give you starting money at the beginning and you can buy whatever skills you want and kind of run through this little, I forget what it's called, kind of like a little trials mode. And then, you could play it again, try a different character, buy different skills, play the same character, buy different skills, whatever, and then go through it again and see how far you can get. But that's battle mode. It's kind of cool they put that together in the app. And it'll tell you how to set up the scenarios, what enemies to use, all that stuff. Really cool. But it cuts out all the story and wandering around maps and things like that. It just gets you right to the scenarios. I think it's their own scenarios. I think they might be unique to that mode, but I could be wrong. Maybe it's just the scenarios from the game and they've selected a few of them and made a little mode out of them. But so we're going to do a new campaign. I'm going to just wipe out our previous save here where we were fooling around with it. We're going to play, I guess there's a campaign and an expansion already, Clash of the Immortals, or a whole other game. I'm not sure what that is. But we just have Chronicles of Kaan, just the base game for anyone who cares. And then it's asking you, do you own any expansions that you want to add to the game? No, we don't. Oh yeah, Clash of the Immortals, I guess, is the expansion. Yeah. I'm going to say no expansions. And then I'm playing the Forest Guard. And if you want to read some backstory, I believe the app says, or the rulebook says you can read some backstory and how the character plays. But I kind of glanced through here and I don't see anything explaining how my character's playstyle is to let me know whether I should pick him or not. but I've played enough fantasy games to kind of know what the archer elf kind of character might be doing for us, doing a little range attacks, trying to be mobile, not so defensive. But I'll just select that guy. But if you want to read a little backstory to get you more into the flavor, it's there. Mel is playing the nobleman, but obviously if we had expansions and things, it would add more characters in here that you could play with. So we're going to start the campaign. Here we go, everybody. It's going to teach us stuff through here and how the app works and how the game works. And it does even have some of the reference stuff is in the app, not just on this reference sheet. So it'll remind us, like, every combat round, here's the steps of the preparation phase. I love that. I love that. So even if you take a break or go play another game or your friends leave town and come back a month later and you continue, it'll still remind you of rules stuff and keep the game flowing, which I like. Again, storybooks can't really do that when they print giant 300-page manuals to play your game with. This is where the apps like replace those and do such a better job, I think. And can be corrected on the fly instead of telling you have to wait 2 years for the next campaign where we'll have a new book you can buy with all the errata corrected. Love it. Okay, so grayed out button indicates there's more text to read on the page. Scroll down further to activate the button, whatever. Okay. Act 1 of 3, all right? Gray frames like this one contain instructions for you to follow. These will generally involve physical components from the game box. To begin your adventure, find Naskis. I don't know how to pronounce this stuff. And I'm not going to try to, but when I went looking for reference material on Board Game Geek or any kind of errata, corrections, I went to the file section, and Mel actually found this and told me, and I went and looked, and I was like, yep, it's the only thing there. They obviously probably made this because when they gave me a review copy, they were like, oh God, we've watched this guy's channel before. We see what he does with pronouncing names from other nationalities or other cultures. Yeah, I butcher that stuff like nobody's business. I will definitely lose viewers who are more interested in this stuff. And I'm sorry if I offend you with my pronunciations, but it's going to happen. But if you care, and I'm not going to do this as we play and look up every single word, but I just want to show you all the words that I will probably pronounce wrong. And there are a lot. 2 whole pages, just to let you know. But if you care and want to know and bring it up and you want to mute me and just read what's on the screen and know how to pronounce it, this file is on Board Game Geek in the files section for this game if you're looking for it. But I thought it was cool someone put this together. Or the publisher.
I don't know who put it together.
I don't know,
but I saw it on there.
I don't normally see this for games, right? But you see me stumble on names and words from things that I've never read before or never seen. I don't know how to. But I'm going to butcher things, just warning you.
Yeah.
Just warning you. Oh, Addie's asking a question here in the chat. Says 36 likes out of 60 viewers. Yeah, what the hell, guys? And there was like already over 10 likes before we even went live today. So those people probably aren't even here.
Oh, Nasky wasn't even on that list? Oh, so we're just supposed to know that one.
Really?
That's what Yogi said.
Oh, man. Yeah, you're right. Oh, no. Well, that's it. We can't play then. If I can't say this right, I'm going to stop right here. No, I'm just joking. Slackers. Yeah, they need an updated file. Okay. So we're going to read this and then continue. So let's go like so. And I'll try to read through this. It is the italicized font, so I will have a little trouble with it. But to the elder druids of the Circle of the Spirits of Undisnoin. Okay, my invitation to an audience with Ilkral, the immortal emperor of Kartakol, was a deception from the start. I am kept now as one of the Enlar, the emperor's consorts. Every luxury is lavished upon me, yet the gardens and chambers of the imperial palace are but a great gilded cage. Whenever I can, I make sure the forest's voice resounds in this palace, just as each of the other Enelar makes herself the voice of her own homeland. It is all my position allows me to do. The Ilkral has done much good for his people. He is well loved in Esafir, which he has made into the pride of all Kaan. There is an ambition in him that will not rest until all Kaan, no, all Ena, bends the knee to him. He is fate chosen, and he will wreak terrible things. The Ilkral's eyes have been set on our forest for some time. He asks many questions about our lands. Dark schemes are being woven. I am doing what I can to frustrate these schemes, but I only possess the power to achieve so much. I beseech you, send the bravest champions of the forest to Esafir in the utmost secret. I have allies in the city that will make contact once they reach Esafir. May the ageless wisdom of Ninja guide your way. Nask. I don't know, whatever. Sorry, Sorry what I'm talking about,
Yogi said you nailed that.
Yeah, okay. I don't trust anything Yogi says anymore. Yogi's trolling me hard, I'm sure. All right. Okay. And there it is. So,
I didn't know that.
yeah, it's very nice. A very nice paper. Well done. Gives me those chip theory game vibes. You know, when they do the, like, you know, special components that kind of fit the theme. I love when the extra stuff is put into it. Feels like an old letter. But that's it. That's going to go in the box, never to be read again. Okay, cool. But yeah, I like that stuff. Little extra theme. Okay, back to the app. And we're going to click continue. These days, all roads in Kaan lead to Esafir, the capital of Kartakol Empire. Merchants arrive with the treasures of 100 lands. Adventurers come to turn their fortunes around in a city that grows in wealth and glory by the day. The generosity and ambition of the Ilkral, its mysterious immortal emperor, appears boundless. Your journey from the primeval forest, has been neither short nor easy, but as you finally approach the city, you feel a shiver of excitement race up your spine. Esafir is an impressive sight to behold. Place the map of Esafir and the map key, which is that sticker sheet, on the table in front of you. During story scenes, you will remove stickers from the map key to reveal important locations you discovered. Okay. So we'll just lay it in between us. Normally I have my dice over here, but I kind of lined it up so we can kind of lay it down. It doesn't affect your little board. Shouldn't affect my stuff here. And then, it's like got really dark on the camera there. Yes, probably just the map thing. Boom. So I've laid this out here so we can kind of see it. Beautiful little map. We've looked at it already. I'm going to click continue. You have the sticker sheet.
Yep, right beside.
Okay. What have we done here? Oh, there we go. Your mind, so where is it? Yeah, your mind rings with desperate words in Naski's letter. Few druids in the Primeval Fortress are as beloved as she is. Some months ago, she journeyed to Esafir upon the invitation of the Ilkral. Over the past year, the Ilkral's troops have ventured deeper into the forest, and his agents have been exerting their influence over the tribes of your homeland. Naski's accepted the Ilkral's invitation and journeyed here to better understand his ambitions towards the forest. She witnessed for herself the prosperity and security the Kartakol Empire brought its subjects, but also its ruthless ambition and the obedience it demanded. As her letter revealed, the Ilkral's invitation was a ruse. Naski is now his prisoner, and the elders' worst fears about the Ilkral's intentions seem to be well-founded. It is vital that you rescue Naski and that the forest hears what she has learned of the Ilkral's schemes. Travelers take many roads to the imperial capital, but they all meet here at the great caravanserai of Saint Mehabad. You've been to the Solstice Festival when all the tribes of the forest come together, but little has prepared you for the mass of travelers crowding the caravanserai's labyrinth of passageways. Remove sticker 1 from the map key. So we are tainting our game here, never to be what it was once. So Mel's peeling off a sticker there.
Oh, sorry.
That was not on camera. How dare you?
Sorry.
The caravanserai or Suri of Saint Mahabad is, it shows a little map picture, kind of.
That's cute.
And we know it's number 1 here, right here. And our little miniature would be here because this is where we are. And that's what it's explaining. Okay. All right. So we place the party token on location 1 on the map. As you walk through the main gate leading into the caravanserai, the guards at their station single you out from the crowd of travelers. There you are, one of them exclaims. I told my friend to expect some forest folk coming through the gate. I knew you were coming from a mile away. That's how far your stink carries. The other guards laugh. One of them walks up and get a closer look at you. No wonder he smirks. Just take a look at yourself. What dead animal is it you've draped over you? Okay, super serious here. We need to do a poll in the live chat. For those watching, are going to make this decision right here. We've made one before. I don't know what the other one does. We'll find out. But We'll say number 1 is the top one. Number 2 is the second. I'll just do a quick little 1-2 poll in the chat. And then you guys can click 1 or 2. So first option, stand up for yourself. Option number 2, put your heads down and keep walking. Based on the story so far, what do you guys think we should do? We've wandered in this town. We don't know. We're trying to find our friend who's tricked to come here and got captured. And we have some allies here, but we've like only been here before for a festival. We're not very familiar with the location, hence why we have no idea what all the locations in the map are. But yeah, so you guys decide. We'll do a quick little poll on that. Yeah, are we being lied to? Like, who knows? Yeah, destroy the letter after reading, Tom? Yeah. Inspector Gadget style. Which is based off of, oh, what's that show? Is it Get Smart or something? Does that too, I think, the old show. Spy show or whatever. I think it's called. All right. Let's see. We're going to end the poll. Thank you all that voted. Again, thank you all. 50 of you who've clicked the like button. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. 76% want us to go, number 1, stand up for yourself. All right.
All right.
You said it. We'll deal with the consequences. The app does remember choices, and it does affect the playthrough according to the rule book. Some of it affects it minimally. Some will have major consequences and branching paths and things for each playthrough, which is kind of cool. Also want to point out at the top here, it explains this in the rule book. In the app, you see we're playing Act 1. There's a little starting symbol. We're in the little beginning part, but it shows you the layout of the actual act you're playing, how many combat scenarios you'll place, combat chapters you'll play, sorry. So each one of those little gray arrow kind of areas is a chapter. And just because it shows a sword, it just tells you there's combat involved there, but it could have some story before and after, and then lead you into the next chapter. But you could probably save in between each one of those, but it'll let you know where you are when you're in a story phase. It'll show that across the top and show how far you've progressed. And you also see the campfires there. Those are rest phases. And in this game, they've really tried to nail it down in the rulebook that you need to care about your health and energy. At the end of a normal combat, you will only gain 1 health and energy back. Normal health will cost you 2 health points for 1 gold. So they recommend find potions and find money in the scenario, and that stuff will keep you alive because you don't just get to rest up after every combat and reset. That's why you have the save box in the bag and everything, because you might have 3 combats in a row and that health needs to carry you all the way through. So you might need to push your luck and go grab a potion or something to help you in between. There is a healer character we could play with, the shaman, that could help. If we had more players, I'd probably throw that in the mix. But we need to find gold as we go, because that gold can be used in the rest phases to buy us health. The game, even in a rest step, it only gives you back your energy at the end of a rest phase, not all your health. So health is like, we got to be smart. This game's very puzzly. Try not to lose too much health because you don't gain it back, and try to be smart with as many turns as you have to complete your objectives. And it even says in the rulebook, sometimes you will totally tank your objectives and there might be some fail forward. Sometimes it might make you do another combat scene if you fail, but sometimes you might just go for potions and money and fail the objectives just because you need to heal to get ready for like a boss fight coming, as you see there. I'm assuming that's what the little devil horns is. We've not played that far, but yeah, it gives you an idea. So like maybe we can look and go like, I don't know, should we drink this potion right now? It's like, well, we do have a rest phase and after one more combat, so you have to make those kind of decisions, which I like. It's really cool. We've not really done it yet, so I don't know the good balance and how to play it properly, but we'll see. Anyways, let's stand up for ourselves. You hurl abuse back at the guards. You stand up for the dignity and personal hygiene of the people of the forest and compare the guards' faces to the backsides of various forest animals. This only adds to the guards' entertainment. Once they've recovered from their laughing fit, one of them draws her sword and points at you. Remember this, everyone is welcome in Esafir as long as they know their place. Now shut that stinking mouth and move along. You decide it's best to let the matter go and move on. The militia will remember your actions. The app tracks how you interact with certain factions in the game and influence how they react to you in the future. This will have consequences in the story, although the game will not explicitly tell you when these are triggered. You can view your reputation with these factions in the statistics button at the bottom right of the screen. I'll click that now. So we've won 0 combats. We're big losers. Trait points, we have 0. And trait points I think you get from passing skill checks. And you get harder ones, and you'll earn more trait points in the rulebook, it says. And that can allow you to get more traits to help you in more skill checks going forward. I think that's how that works. So the reputation, you guys just screwed up. We now have -1 reputation with the Empire. Fully on chat, not on us.
Yeah, we didn't make that decision.
Yeah, we're playing the game perfectly. It's our chat that's not. So just FYI. That's how we're going to roll. Yeah, we're filthy. Filthy like that.
I mean, you didn't know that before you selected that. So maybe you would have made a different decision. So going forward, let's keep that in mind.
Okay, you find yourself in a wide, dusty plaza packed with travelers milling in every direction. Under the colonnades that surround the plaza, you see stables, taverns, inns, and shops, everything a weary traveler could need to restore themselves after a tiring journey. You are not even in the city proper, and already you feel like this bustling labyrinth could swallow you whole. No one pays you any attention, except for a cat standing in the middle of a narrow street, looking at you with strangely intense focus. You are a stranger here, and you know no one in Esafir. You are about to head to one of the inns around the plaza, but a young girl steps out in front of you. She's carrying a massive bundle of flowers, and is wearing more flowers in her hair. Oh, she's so gentle and kind. She moves towards you and extends a hand, holding a single pink rose. You notice a symbol tattooed on her wrist. Under her sleeve, a circle of dots. Are you the heroes from the forest? I have a message for the heroes from the forest. So now it's do you, and we're going to put a poll in the chat for fun again, and number 1 and 2 again. So top one is 1, bottom one is 2. So do you confirm that you are the heroes from the forest, or deny that you are the heroes from the forest? Go ahead and vote. Do we trust her? She's got a little symbol on her wrist, a little circle of dots. She's playing the innocent flower girl here, and you see a picture of her there. Do we trust her? Do we let her know? How does she know we're even coming? She must be good, right? She must be good. She knows we're coming.
Well, she knows about us.
Has to. Uncle George says, I noticed Rob's reading improved a lot from playing games on this channel. 100%. Reading out loud is like something a lot of people don't do. And I remember learning in university, taking presentation classes and stuff. Like, it is a skill that like not a lot of people are good at, and it takes practice. And I've just been forced to do it. It's not something I realized was so important as I was doing this stuff. But then when you start getting into these games with lots of story and settings of things I've never really read before, it's like, yeah, I try to get better with it. I know I'm not even perfect, but I've tried to improve. Just get through things you're stumbling on and not like get stumbled up on them is something I still have trouble with. Where like I'll start rereading a line to like understand it while I should just continue reading, and then you'll see me start struggling. But yeah. But thank you, Uncle George, for noticing. I appreciate that. Okay, so let's close the poll. And number 1, 75%. Confirm that you're the heroes from the forests. The girl squeals. I knew it was you. I just knew it. Please, you must follow me. I will take you to an ally that knows your druid friend. Before you can reply, she turns away, beckoning you to follow. Also, on a side note, Uncle George, when the text uses a proper font, like this one, and properly uses dark font on a light background, and or vice versa, and properly cares about contrast when reading, that's why they don't use white ink in white pages in books. But somehow in a lot of these apps and even some of the books we get, they use like freaking light beige on like cream colored backgrounds. It drives me freaking nuts. This app, if it was the lighter gray on the top that's hiding from me, if I had to read that gray all the time, I would be so frustrated. But this app actually puts like a decent font. It's just small, that's the only problem. But obviously if we're using a tablet right in front of our face, it'd be better. We're using a kind of a TV monitor across the room. But they've thought about legibility, which I like. And not all apps do that, so in defense, I probably struggle on some games when they use a italicized light brown font on a cream colored background. It drives me bananas. But anyways, this app doesn't do that. Okay. Before you can reply, she turns away to beckon you to follow. Continue. Without warning, a band of militia jump out of the shadows and surround the girl. You'd expect a child like her to be scared, but what you see is something else entirely. She throws her bundle of flowers into the air. Before they come back down, you see the flash of a blade. The flash of a blade. A guard falls to the ground. He clutches his throat, uselessly trying to contain a jet of blood. She fights like a cornered rat. Another flash of the blade, and another guard falls. The leader notices you, points your way, and shouts, "They're with her! Get them!" A few of the militia rush towards you. Their leader blows twice on a horn to call for reinforcements. Is anyone else here picturing like a scene from Kill Bill happening? That's what I'm picturing, okay? I'm picturing a scene from Kill Bill happening. She's just flying across the room, and just cutting off heads and blood flying everywhere and spraying straight into the air. Yeah, that's what just picture that as you read. Brown frames like this one give you a summary of the combat scene you're about to play. This will include an overview of objectives you need to complete in order to succeed. You've gotten yourself embroiled in an altercation with the militia. Defeat the militia officer blocking your path to avoid arrest. Fight! So this is literally, now we're getting into our first combat of our, this is a tutorial though, so I don't think it really counts in the whole acts and chapters and stuff. Introduction. Welcome to Esafir. Enemy abilities in this combat. Some enemies in this fight have special abilities. These are explained on the respective enemy cards. We have the frontliner. Oh yeah, I guess we don't need the map anymore.
I'll just move this out of the way.
Good call. Look at you.
But I didn't want to do it while
but you will need this because you're going to look up the cards,
sure.
which I think it's this way. Okay. So some enemies in this fight have special abilities that are explained on the respective enemy cards, but it does remind you of them in the app here. So we have the frontliner, and I do love this. See on the little picture on the left, they have a yellow backed black exclamation point. That is literally on every enemy token on their cards and in the app to remind you at a quick glance of the player board, the play area, that there is an ability that will affect you on your turn. The purple guy, you can't really see it in there, has a brown-backed white skull to remind you that they have an ability that happens during their turn. So quickly at a glance, you can kind of look and you will not forget. We play another, there's another publisher out there that makes their games using discs that are like plastic, filled with metal, they're heavy weighted. And they have a similar kind of thing where they have art on the chip and keywords and things. This game doesn't have the keywords, everything's on a card. But in those games, it's hard at a glance sometimes to remember all the skills that affect you when you're doing stuff and the skills that they need to do. You just have to remember that stuff and constantly look at reference sheets. In this, they were nice and literally put little symbols just to remind you, because there's lots of enemies in this game, like boxes and boxes of different enemies, which ones have little abilities here that, like this is an ability on their turn, this ability you have to keep track on your turn. I like it. And it gives you an initiative number, and that's it. Everything else is on a card. But it's cool just to see on the board quickly, which I like. Mm-hmm. Simple solution, very helpful. So, the frontliner, all shot actions assigned to this zone must target a frontliner first. The blocker, heroes in this same zone cannot leave voluntarily. And the leaders, which are purple, during enemy turns move the closest red minion, not in this enemy zone, one zone towards this enemy. I also want to shout out, there are this many color of enemies. White, blue, red, green, brown, and purple. Okay, you saw 3 of them here in the app this way. There are 3 used in the scenario right now that we see on this list. Order matters how they activate, and the app will take care of some of that, but it is all right here to remind us. But each enemy, I just want to show this kind of cool, if you care. I don't care that much, but the reason why they're colored a certain way is because of each enemy, just like our characters. Mel is purple because she has the kind of the play style of like purple. I'm blue. I have the play style of like blue enemies, kind of like each color in the game is tied to like a play style, which is neat. And I just want to show. Right here, so enemies on your right side there. Let me just, boom, boom. So white minions, for example, are creatures that do not belong in a specific faction. They tend to be fast and hunt players down from a distance. Blue minions are armed with ranged weapons, allowing them to attack from adjacent zones. They tend to be less effective while in the same zone as the heroes. So if you kind of understand, this is right in one of the first few pages of the rulebook, but it helps you kind of how to approach these enemies and what they might do. Red minions are the rank and file melee fighters that tend to be the most numerous enemies on the combat. And we have a red mercenary in the game that you can play as, and he is like kind of like the fighter. He fits this style. And the green minions are tough warriors that are harder to defeat than others, typically have the blocker ability, which stops heroes from moving out of their zone. There is the shaman, he's the green hero, he is about like defense, helping others, and healing and things. So kind of like preventing damage is the green thing. Brown minions are veteran warriors. They tend to be tough to defeat and hit hard. Watch out for these. And the purple are not minions. Not minions. I've learned this. We kind of made mistakes. We were first learning the game, but I cleared it up. Purple minions, yes, they're enemies, but purple mean they're leaders. They're like bosses. So there's a lot of abilities in the game that affect only minions. They cannot affect leaders. So leaders are a little more immune to some of the things in the game. So when you have an ability that moves a minion from your space, you can't move a leader, okay? Yeah, things like that. So you just got to keep that in mind. So that there's a definition distinction there. It does even explain that right here. All enemies are considered minions apart from purple enemies called leaders and bosses. Okay, just to keep that clear. Keep us in check if you're watching. You're like, wait, you shouldn't be doing that on a purple guy. That matters, and we might forget that. So just throwing that out there. Okay. So there's a little highlight of what they might do in the app. Okay, now it's going to show us what components we need to get out for a scenario and show us the map layout, which is really clever. So please take the following cards from the unlock box is what this is called. So based on our player count, it knew that we selected 2 characters. So it's going to tell us to grab the guard dog 373 versus maybe if we're playing 4 players, it might tell us to grab a guard dog that's like card 375 or something. That is like an elite guard dog that has more health, is maybe more aggressive to balance the player count, which is really neat. So we're getting a specific amount of enemies, probably the same enemies we'd see in a 1-player game because you run 2-handed. So if you're playing 3 or 4 player, you'll have different numbered cards to pull than we will. And I think it'll do that going forward as it balances the game based if we're doing too well or bad. It will rejig that too, I'm assuming. So we took the following components from the token, or take the following components from the token tray and the enemy token box. So if you can grab the starting token, and then there's 2 exit tokens, A and B. And then also we need enemy tokens. I'll grab those from the little boxes. And it tells you how many you need to get set out. I'll just grab, if it doesn't show you a number, and they're 2-sided. So here's one of the enemy discs. These are just ones from retail, so they're cardboard. But they have little initiative numbers. And sometimes when you're setting up the board, it wants you to use specific initiative numbers. And sometimes it just says grab a random one. It doesn't really matter. So I'm just going to grab 1 doggo. So it doesn't matter. Only 1 we need. And that's all that would be in this box that I can see. And you can quickly look at how many creepy kitties there are in this game. And monsters and things in this box. This is like the animal box, I think. And then out of this box, if I grab the right one, yep. There on this side, we got 8 of these little red soldiers that could be in the game. There's the archers we need. There's the guards we need. And on this one token, on the one side, there's the boss we need. So I'm just going to basically open this up and like, you know, I could just dump them out, put them in a tray, whatever. I'm just going to throw them off to the side and we'll grab them as needed. And then when you're cleaning up, just put them all in the right box based on the labels. And there you go. So I don't think the number matters. So doggo, 3 of these red guys. And I like the way all the red tokens in this box, I think they're all the one enemy, so they don't quickly, it's easy to find them because they're the only red ones in there, for example. I don't know if all the boxes are like that, but. And then the guard, we need 1 guard. I'll just grab a guard. And whoops, other side. And then the boss we need is this guy.
You only need 3 of those.
Oh, whatever.
No
I thought it was 5. I don't know why I was thinking that.
That's okay.
But
That's
yeah.
okay.
And then you got the gem.
I got the gem.
Boom, the gem's there.
Now, one thing before you go any further, Brian does say, Rob's Gaming Tool, don't forget to scroll down in the component list like I did and miss some important info. So.
Oh, I did that, obviously.
Okay.
But yeah,
let's not
I can see that.
Forget to scroll.
And that's why the first thing it tells you in the app, literally the first instruction is, hey, things might be grayed out. You must scroll down. Did the next button, it was not grayed out?
I don't remember, but I'll look next time. I just saw his thing. I did see that there's the scroll on the side, but
oh, wow.
You definitely could probably miss something.
Yeah, the next button should be grayed out until you fully scroll down once. That's what it said it's supposed to do at the beginning of the app. So obviously that's a bug.
Oh yeah, we need 1 blue.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Uncle George is watching.
Obviously, we'd grab that stuff. I just keep all the enemies by because when we're setting up the scenario, it's going to show you again in the layout, which you'll see. So grabbing these enemy tokens doesn't really matter right now. It's just if you really want to keep a clean table or you want to pre-set up you know, I don't know, your friend's going to grab food and you're like, oh, let me get out everything we need and then we can set it up together when you get back. I don't know why, but anyways. So here's the layout. But again, it doesn't show us where enemies go. That'll come in a minute. And then we're going to grab some tiles. So super small, but I think that's tile number 1.
Yeah, A1.
On the A side.
A2. I'm sorry, zoom in. I don't know if you're.
Well, I see 4 is there.
Yeah.
No, it's not in order.
Okay,
It doesn't really matter because you just grab ones by the shape. We'll try to keep it looking the same. So you can also just look at the art too because it's all unique. I'm going to go like here maybe. Sure, let's go like there.
And then A9.
So that is one of the little L-shaped ones. So it can only be one of like 2 or 3 different tiles that all have the same thing. So I'll just look. I see a 9 there.
A7 is long one.
Long ones I kept over here on the side. So 7 is this one.
And then A2 is another one of this size.
Okay. So then I go here, grab my squares. And it tells you organize by number when you're setting up the game for the first time. But like, I don't know, whatever. It's just, I just keep them kind of grouped together. So what is it, 2?
Yep.
And then I'll keep the rest nearby because mid-scenario, this kind of has that app-driven stuff. We've seen in Mansion of Madness, Descent, Legend of the Dark, Lord of the Rings, Years of Middle-earth, games we love, where the cool part about it not being in a book that just shows you the entire combat setup and then you put the book away. In this app, things could happen during the combat that add more enemies, expand the map, and you have no idea, which is cool. Or maybe not, I don't know if it does it all the time, but we'll see. But one of the benefits of playing on the app. Tutorial objectives. The next screen displays the objectives of a combat scene, as well as any special rules that apply. You must complete all objectives to succeed. Make sure all players understand these objectives, then click Next to begin the guided combat scene setup. Introduction, whatever. Okay, objectives. Main objective. Defeat the militia officer guarding exit A and leave from exit A. So exit B is here, but if we escape from exit B, we don't complete our objectives. And we have to complete all main objectives to succeed. And then special rules. Oh. Ball Guy Games, thank you so much for the super chat. Happy Saturday, Robin Mel. And happy Veterans Day weekend to my fellow Americans. It is in Canada too. It is Remembrance Day on the 11th.
Yeah, Monday.
On Monday. So same for us here in Canada. We have the same kind of like respect the soldiers and those who have served our country and that kind of stuff. We have that here on the same time. So as a holiday kind of or not a holiday I should say,
yeah,
but like a day of remembrance that we both share, which is kind of neat. So yeah, it's like a lot of our holidays don't line up at all, but that one does.
Thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much for the support. Okay. Special rules. This combat scene serves as an introduction to allow players to get familiar with the combat system. Make sure you've read the rules for combat scenes before continuing, then follow the instructions shown by the app to set up the combat map. Here's the important thing. This is how they keep this game short, and in the 60-minute playtime I talked about that you could read the story, go through a story phase. That wasn't that long. I wasn't getting bored of reading story for an hour there, which is very refreshing and nice, and it was some interaction there. And sometimes will be skill checks and roaming around that map you've seen before, and being more interactive story, which is nice, and not that long. And then the combats are not that big, but they also limit them on rounds. We're literally only going to play 3 rounds of rolling dice, determining initiative, do some actions, repeat.
Yeah, well, also trying to get the main objectives.
So there is a crunch for time. It is about being efficient and risk versus reward. Again, in this one, we need to do the objectives, but sometimes you might not always need to. It's your choice if you want to let them bomb, and it might fail you forward and maybe punish you and stuff might happen based on that because you need to get some potions to survive and that kind of stuff. So it's really cool. Or we might want to go for a chest, grab a special item and tank the whole scenario. I mean, I don't know anyone here that would ever do that. But yeah, that is a possibility. You might have to make that decision, which is very cool. All right, combat scene. For this fight only, you may reset the health and energy of all heroes after the end of combat. If you fail to achieve the objectives of this combat, the app will bring you back to this point to try again. Like I said, normally just fail forward, but they really want to make sure you understand combat and the rules and the tutorial before they let you off on your own to get into the full campaign, which I like. Keep an eye on the round counter at the top of the screen so you don't run out of time. Step 1, select the matching tiles and arrange them according to the layout shown to create the combat map. Already did it. Tiles are numbered and have an A and B side. The app shows you which tiles to use, letter and number, which we did already. Oh, it was just telling us to get out the components, but it was already put together on that. Yeah, I see what they're doing. So I can scroll up and down, even though there's no up and down bar here. I don't know what that's all about, but is there secret hidden areas that I can find?
Or maybe it's just preset for...
I don't know. Maybe if I jump over the warp pipes and then go up off the screen on the top of the brick, I can find another secret area. Anyways, let's see. All right, continue. Place an enemy cards corresponding to this combat scene, enemies to the side of the tiles as shown. Always keeping, you put them wherever. Always keeping a top to bottom order of white, blue, red, green, brown, and purple enemy types. And that is the same order that is on the end of turn token or in the rule book. And we'll just throw them there for now. I mean, this app is telling you to put them on the right side, but that's where I have the app, so we're not going to do that right now, but we might do that in the future. I don't need the app up there all the time, and not all colors are used in every combat scene. Place the start and exit tokens on the combat map as shown. So exit A is where we need to get to, and very cleverly, they have these tokens have a little groove in them, which is kind of like a circle would fit in there, and that is because they will have tokens, enemies that guard them. So this exit, we cannot use it unless we defeat the guy that's attached to it, and we can't move him with effects. You literally in no circumstances can move something that's attached to an exit or objective or whatever. You have to defeat them to get through. And once we defeat them, the exit is now open to use, which is very clever. I like that. There's also objective tokens shaped like this that, guys will protect that and stuff. It's called being guarded, which is really cool. But at first when I was unboxing this and punching out the cardboard, I'm like, what the hell is all these weird shaped tokens in this game? But it's very clever what they did. All right, so you place those here. And again, we don't want to leave an exit B, but at the end of a scenario, you automatically travel out an exit. So I think they put that there to show us that that can happen. But if we don't go out of A, we don't get to check off that we completed the objective. But we still could end the scenario by leaving. Okay, place each enemy token onto the combat map as shown. So none of those have initiative numbers on them, so they say just grab any one, it doesn't matter. But the initiative will determine if there's a tie of like which enemy will attack you, if both can attack you, or both can move equal distance. You pick the one with the lowest number on them, the highest initiative they call it. But in this case, it doesn't matter, it's not specific. So you can put any red guys where this shows red guys, any blue, whatever. Otherwise, just place the correct color tokens. Yeah, it tells you that here. Show the enemies. Yeah, sorry. Numbers randomized, but whatever. The leader's enemy card indicates that he has 2 armor. Which is, so here's an example of an enemy card. They show the cool art. They show what faction he's part of. They show his name, this is the lieutenant. He has 2 armor. Armor does not refresh at the end of a turn, but health does. So if we can get 2 damage on this guy after breaking his 2 armor points, we can defeat him and remove him from the board. His leader ability, and this is the symbol reminding you, has an ability that happens on his turn or his reactions in the flow of a phase. And then it says during enemy turns, move the closest red minion not in this enemy zone 1 zone towards this enemy. And I learned from rereading the rulebook today, these happen after you go through all of the behaviors. Then you go back through and do all of these kind of abilities. So he's not going to move a red guy before a red guy goes, because you would go in this order first and then go back and do abilities, I'm pretty sure. Because it does say after you've gone through every enemy, then it says at this point, go trigger any abilities that are needed. And I think that's why they have the symbol to remind you that they have abilities on their turn to resolve at the end of the enemy phase. And there you go. And then this here tells me, this is how the enemies work in this game. So cool, so straightforward. This guy on his card here, but the app might add different abilities to them in the reaction step. But when we're just resolving them in the enemy phase at the very end of the round, this tells us how they act. This guy literally says, if there is a player character in their space, so 0 spaces away, they will attack the character who is the leftmost on the initiative track with attack of 1 plus 1 damage, so 2 damage. Okay, you could block it somehow with block tokens or whatever. But that's how it goes. If you are not in his space, nothing happens. He has no other behaviors. But this guard dog on the other end here shows he's much faster. He will look, and if you're in his space, he'll just attack you for 1 damage. If he can find a hero 1 away, he will go after the character who went first in initiative, move 1 towards them, and attack them for 1. If there is no one 1 space away, and they're 2 spaces away, he will move just 1 space towards the character that went first in initiative. If you are 3 spaces away, he will do nothing. He can't smell you yet. You're not close enough. So it's very straightforward. It's very quick. You just look for closest enemies, kind of see if they have anything to do. You'll get used to them. That's how the game flows, right? I obviously make it take way longer as I'm explaining everything, but this game flows. It's very cool. But it does slow to a halt when you're working out the puzzle of the scenario. You have lots of enemies. You're trying to figure out, like, how do we want to do our turns? But when you're resolving an enemy turn, it's like bang, 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 done. Back to our turn. There's like a little downtime, which is how you design a game. All right. So we got the armor. Note that the leader's token is placed guarding exit A. See guarded tokens. I've already explained that. Put your little gem there that I think just was added there in that little flash.
Yeah.
Yep. Place any additional tokens such as gems into the zones shown. So we have a little 1 gem here. How gems work, how food tokens work, how, I don't know, chests are the same. But objective tokens, I think, too. If there are no enemies in the space, there is no action involved. You just pick it up. So you have to spend actions to remove those enemies by abilities, moving them, killing them, having them go after a different player, whatever. But we cannot pick up this gem until there is no enemies in this space. Okay? The exit we can use if there's enemies in the space, that's totally fine, except for if he's guarding it. We got to get rid of this guy. But if there's like 5 enemies in that space and none of them are guarding the exit, we can use the exit at the end, no problem. We just have to take some damage rushing through the enemies. But this gem cannot be touched unless there's no enemies in that space. Okay, and each tile is literally 1 space. They're not divided up. So they look very beautiful because they don't have lines and grids and hexes all on them, which is nice. Because literally this is the same size space, basically 1 space, as this. This tile is also just 1 space. It's literally just each tile is 1 space. Super simple, super straightforward. Yeah, so hence why the complexity on the game is a little lower, you know, because it's just like more straightforward. That's what I like. Okay. Create a pool of tokens and cubes to be used during the combat scene. We already have them all in a tray, so we don't make pools here. We're bougie. We got custom trays for everything. We don't just put our tokens on a table. Who does that? And there's our party bag. We already talked about that. That's on the board in front of us. Place the turn tiles for the preparation phase, enemy reactions, and enemy turns in front of you. Then add the turn tiles representing your heroes shown in the example. Order does not matter for now. Place each player's hero miniature in the tile with the start token. And that's that token with the S on it. So we're just in this space. You are ready to begin. Okay, tutorial here. We got buttons. So there's buttons in the app for component and layout. I guess you can click that and always double check. Objectives and special rules. You click this one with the little scroll. Your event list, which I'm sure is like the tracking of all that's happened. And your settings. And of course we have that reputation one too, or whatever. Preparation phase. Remember the optional actions explained on page 12 of the rulebook: energy, reroll, 3 of a kind, and dash. These are also described on the player aid, and I'll go over these. If you decide to take any of these actions, they have to be done during the preparation phase before any hero or enemy begins their turn of the action phase. When planning your moves, be aware that some enemies have special abilities explained on their enemy card, such as the frontliner for the militia grunt. Make sure to consider them, as these abilities can impact their and your actions, as I already explained. And then literally right here is the preparation phase. So it is telling us a turn sequence, so we fully know that one of us, we choose at the very end, step 3 of the preparation phase, we will choose which order we go in. But we do know enemies will react between us. So one of us will go first, 2 random enemies will be chosen by the app to react. If they're already dead, you tell the app, and it'll pick a different enemy to go. They'll react, and the reaction is not what's on their card. It'll be some surprise special kind of thing, but it'll still be within the behavior they have. Like usually like a ranged character is not going to all of a sudden start doing crazy melee attacks. They'll kind of do their range attack thing, right? The dog will do its running after us and attacking, but it might not in a reaction step, or it might do more of it. And it's kind of fun and kind of a surprise hidden in the app. And then one of us will go, and then the enemies will go at the end. So we can flip these guys after we see how we roll and what happens. But basically the preparation phase is pick 4 combat dice at the start of the game. We only have 4 combat dice, so we're going to roll all 4. Based on what we see, there is options. We can do it, and we can do these in any order, but I want to highlight energy reroll. Is literally spending 1 energy, taking a cool little see-through blue cube here from your available box here and down to like your used box here to re-roll all misses. And you can only do it once, and it's re-rolling all of them. And every die has one that we start with. The colors on the dice are also specific. There is a thing in the rulebook explaining what the dice are. This one I think represents your like mind. So it has like focus symbols on it that can be used on special abilities and stuff. But it still has some melee attack, some range attack, a miss, has some movement or some focus. But this die here is like the range attack die. So it can have a melee, it can move, but it can also have like a super range attack that can be used on skills or just a regular range attack. Obviously the dice probably can get better or more focused. And you'll notice my colors are different based on my character. And Mel has a range die, but she also has like the kind of melee focus die that has a little bit more melee on it. And she also has, I think it's the movement one, like your speed. So this one's more the movement die. But every character has their own starting little makeup. But like I said, you can add other ones later. You can get more to choose from. And you can get weapons that are more related to range weapons or melee weapons that you'll add in. But you don't roll them unless you choose to roll them out of the 4 you're choosing. But obviously we're only choosing these 4. And we'll roll them. And based on these, if you want to use a dice tray, we can do this for skill checks and stuff. I have a dice tray here. Obviously I have 1,000 of them. But yeah, if you'd like, here we can give you a nice purple one for your character.
Oh, beautiful. I love that.
I'll use a blue one for my
So
character.
should I re-roll?
No.
Not great.
The other thing you can do, and again, in any order in the preparation phase, is dash. You can do a free little dash. It's not the same as using a movement action, because these movement symbols on dice can be spent on abilities you might have. But the dash just gives you like a free 1 space movement. If you dash out of a space with enemies, no matter how many are there, you take a damage. That does not normally apply to move effects you do in the combat phase. But they give you 1 free little dash if you want to use it. But you can decide after you reroll, you can decide after you discuss stuff. It's just 1 step you must choose though in the preparation phase before you set the turn order and before you go on to combat. You don't have to do the dash, it's your choice. And then the third thing is 3 of a kind. If you rolled 3 dice of the same kind, so this die, let's say I rolled an arrow symbol. No, that's not a good example. These are a good example. If I rolled 3 little boots here, you roll 3 of a kind, you can change the result of one of them to anything on the die, which is kind of cool. But this right here, this shows a boot. You know, what am I talking about? And a focus symbol. This is not the same as rolling 2 for 3 of a kind. This is 2 different dice face. You need 3 of the same. So this was a sword. So this right here, I didn't roll 3 movement icons. I did for the point of movement, but for 3 of a kind, they're not the exact same face. So I did not roll 3 of a kind. I rolled 2 of a kind. Okay, so that doesn't happen. That was a sword. Okay. And then you just put your dice on your player board once you've rolled them. I don't need to re-roll any. I don't care. We don't have any misses, so we're not going to spend any energy to re-roll.
Sorry, just answering Uncle George's question. These are focus.
Yeah, they're called focus.
And they can be used for abilities and things.
I don't know what the symbol actually is. I just know in the game they call it a focus symbol. I don't know why they picked that symbol. I'm not sure, but it's just that's what it is.
Yeah.
And again, I can use it on skills. So here is a skill example. I have the starter skill, which has a little S on it. Every character has a couple they start with. I don't know why it has a cost on it, because you just start with it, but it has a 1-time use for every turn I take. Some of them are single use during combat, where like you literally flip them over. This is once per combat turn or round or whatever. And some are passive that'll have the like infinity symbol on them or whatever. So this just tells me I can spend 1 focus and any other thing, any other face, but not a miss. If I spend 2 of my dice, I can move a minion, not a boss, from my zone to an adjacent zone. Okay. And my other one here, if I get that fancy arrow symbol, which normally is just one hit at an adjacent space, one space away. This symbol is the same as this arrow symbol, unless an ability lets you change what it does. So if I get this super arrow symbol, which is called a shot, actually, this is called a shot. This is called on the die, this is a shot. This symbol on the die is called a skill shot. This is called a hit, but the fancy version of it, which is on one of Mel's dice here, this is called a skill hit, okay? And then the move icon, a focus icon, and the miss, I think are all the options. So if you had a skill shot, I could do my normal 1 damage, 1 range away, plus 1 range to it. So I could hit up to 2 range away. There are things that might add extra damage. I also have an ability on my board called Marksman. It says during the preparation phase, if I don't roll any shots or any skill shots, I may reroll all my dice once. Okay. And Mel, what's your skills and stuff going on there?
So we can actually do this now because this is in my preparation. So I'm Master Fencer. During preparation, choose a stance using the stance token. So I have the stance token, double-sided purple and yellow, 2 different things. So I have the arrow. All of my shots or super shots or skilled shots count as movement or hit swords. I didn't actually roll any of those, so I probably don't want to be in the arrow stance since I didn't even roll any arrows. But my low guard is once per turn, I can turn a focus into a block. So in my preparation phase, I will choose to be in low guard stance.
You just flip the token.
I'll just flip it on my...
But you could keep it up here, like whatever.
Just to show that I've used it, so that I don't forget. So I'm in low guard, and then once per turn, I can turn one of my focuses into a block. So I also have 2 cards that also correspond to whatever stance I've chosen. So let's look at the one that I'm actually using this round. So while in low guard stance, once per combat round, if you block any damage from an enemy in your zone, deal 1 damage to that enemy. So that's pretty good. And then in the other stance, the arrow stance, I can do not suffer damage from dashing out of a zone with enemies. And I can choose to be in arrow stance, even if I don't have any arrows. Maybe I want to trigger this ability, but I think right now that this ability is going to be better.
Yeah, so this reminds me a little bit of like Massive Darkness, where each character had like their own little mini game to play with. These are way less, like that wasn't that complicated in that game, but they had like more components. But there's a rogue character that has like a little stealth token. But the range character, the melee character, they're pretty straightforward. But the shaman has a special drum he starts with that he can use to store tokens for future turns and things, which is really clever. So every character is a little more unique based on other little mechanics. But I went boring with the range character. That's, you guys know, that's what I like to do.
Yogi, I currently don't have a way to switch mid-turn, but who knows what my skill credits in my box will allow me to do later, but currently I do not.
Like literally the level 1 skills are like, I think it's like 12-ish probably skills that you could buy from, and then there's like level 2 skills that are like higher level versions that you could possibly purchase later when we visit town and spend money and stuff. So yeah, we'll see. We'll get there. Okay.
I didn't really get any attack, so now we can choose our initiative order. I don't know.
So I got an arrow, so I can't re-roll, but I basically have. Oh, and we could choose the dash still.
We could, yes. So on my turn, I will generate a block, which will allow me potentially to deal a damage, but it likely won't happen until the enemy turn.
Are you going to be in here? Probably, right?
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do, I am going to take a dash in the prep phase, and I think why I'm going to do that is because I do have a melee attack. I guess I have movement too. I don't know. If we're going to be in here, this range guy, he will shoot into the zone and get us. The dog won't be able to bite us probably because he's 2 away at this point. But if we get further, he'll be able to get us. I do have 2 movement, but I could use my focus on this, plus my movement if I'm already where I need to be, to move one of these guys out of our zone if we can't deal with him right now. Or I could move him back, because we don't have to kill all enemies. Our objective is not kill all enemies. I don't think 3 turns is enough to kill all enemies.
No.
Really, we need to get this money. Yes, that's right. That's my most important objective. And kill this guy and get out. This guy leaves like 4 damage just to kill him. Like The 2 armor breaking can be done on separate rounds, but if you don't finish off an enemy in a round, they refresh at the end of a round all the damage on them and start over. So you really have to work together to make sure you're focusing on the same enemies to kill them if they have more than 1 health. So I'm going to dash in there.
We also can't move through this guy, so we will have to kill this guy, or we'll have to push him out of our space
I could, if I have this, I can just move him back to here, and we can ignore him and keep going.
I'm just debating. I don't necessarily think I need to dash. I have 2 movement, and I don't necessarily think I want to be in that space if you're not going to kill both of those enemies, and my turn won't be.
Well, I'm going to move one to here.
Oh, then I will.
Which I just explained by using, instead of using movement dice, I will dash to save myself these movement dice to use them on this ability instead, like I said, and then I can use my attack to kill one of these guys. And the other thing these frontliner jerk faces do, which I don't know if we explain it fully. I know we read it, but all shots, range attacks assigned to this zone must target a frontliner first. So these little red dudes, if I pushed one back this way and then I tried to range attack in, I would not be able to kill this other range dude. I would have to kill a red dude first. So that's why I think this boss jerk wants to keep moving red guys back to him to help protect him, so I can't just sit at a distance shooting him with arrows. So I have to keep that in mind, where I might want to kill these red guys before they get there, or move them away or something, so they're not delaying us from completing our objective. Which is a clever little puzzle. I love how every little enemy is like part of this like puzzle we have to solve in a specific amount of rounds. So we got to be really efficient and can't kill everything, at least in this scenario.
You're going to go first then.
I can, sure, if you want.
I don't think it's great that I go first since I can't even attack anything.
So we've done all the stuff in our preparation phase. The last step is determine turn order. Now we resolve the combat. Super straightforward. We know I'm going first. I'm going to resolve my combat. I will, I guess, yeah, I'll just do the melee. I'll resolve my melee. I'll kill one of these guys. Whatever, they're gone. Then I will range attack. Kill this range dude in the space over there. They're all just 1 health, right?
Yeah, just
1 health bowman, 1 health grunt, 2 health on the guard, 2 health on the lieutenant, 1 on the dog. So I'm not even going to put damage tokens on them. Obviously, they're just dead. And then I'll use this to intimidate, and I'll move this minion back to here. And I'm done. Alrighty. Enemy reactions. So now you go back to the app. Oh yeah, I didn't start the action phase. So it just shows us our turn sequence, reminds us here, and this will sit on the tablet or phone or whatever when you're playing the game. And then it tells us our objects. If you collect this gem, the app wants to know, like I said before, based on our health at the end of the scenario, based on stuff we pick up in the scenario, it wants to know, because depending on how well we're doing, it might make it a little more difficult in the future, or how bad we're doing, it might give us some help to keep the balance kind of flowing with us throughout the campaign, which is neat. So now we're going to go to enemy reactions because we're at that step. So this is a tutorial that we won't always see. For each of the shown reaction cards, only 1 enemy will react in this phase, usually the closest. If there are more than 1 enemy of the same color that would react in the same way, the one with the lowest number on his token will react. See enemy reactions on page 12 of the rulebook. Some enemies will show this symbol or that symbol with their actions on their enemy card or reaction. Remember to resolve their targeting accordingly. And it's basically like who went last in initiative or who went first in initiative. That's all that means. Please note that the actions shown for the enemy in the app can be different to those shown on the enemy card that I've explained. So, only 1 enemy reacts for every card displayed below. If you have defeated all enemies of a type shown, click on the skull button below, then they'll replace it with a different enemy. So this is telling us that archers are going, but oopsie, I killed him. So I'm going to click this skull. Whoa, that was loud. I'm so sorry, guys. I just blew out someone's eardrum. Sorry if you're wearing headphones there. I didn't realize the app was going to be that loud. Or maybe I actually just turn it down in the app. Okay, one sec. Let me do it in there here first. Confirm all enemies of this color blue have been defeated. Yes. Okay, replace it with the doggo. But I still don't have the option to change the volume. Okay. So first we'll resolve the dog on the left. There is only 1 dog on the board, so it's really easy. Otherwise we'd pick the closest one. We check. Does he have anyone 0 spaces away? Nope. Does he have anyone 1 space away? Nope. Does he have someone 2 spaces away? Yes. I am 2 spaces away. So is Mel. So he is going to just move 1 space closest to the character who went first in initiative, which was me. Then the guard is going to go. He's going to check. We only have 1 guard in the scenario right now. He's going to check. Is anyone in the same space? Nope. Is anyone one space away? Nope. He's not going to do anything. Done. Continue. And it's back to this, and we continue on with the initiative until we get to the enemy turns, and we click the button to start. I just want to go here and maybe drop this down to like half, and then turn my other volume back up. Okay. Close. Okay. So it's now Mel's turn because she's next in initiative.
Okay, this is actually not bad. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to use my skill once per combat round. Oh no, wait, I got to block first actually. So let me, once per turn, I can turn one of my focuses into a block. So I will just grab a block token, and then I will then spend a move. I will move in here. I don't necessarily want to move into this space here because I can already see what these enemies can do. If the dog attacks, I will be able to take the dog out, and then we'll be able to keep pushing forward. So I think actually these dice are just going to be lost. I don't know any hits. That's too bad. Yeah. All right. I'm done.
Okay, so now we're going to click. So it's comments. Edward has a comment. Are they exploring the lost dungeon of Tetris? Edward just rolled in. I already made that
Feels
Tetris
like
joke
that a
about the
little bit.
tiles. Okay, Edward, you're obviously late to the stream. I will see you after stream. We need to discuss your punctuality. And then Yogi says, okay, tactical combat already cooking in the opening tile. Yeah.
100%. This is that type of game.
And right away, after like our first, like probably halfway into our first tutorial, I was like, yeah, I totally see why Brand basically recommended the game, and how when I saw the demo at Gen Con, I was like, the way the guy was explaining it too and showing us a random scenario, I was like, yeah. You don't need to stop. I'm good. I love this puzzly little thing going on here. It's great. And again, this is like toned down enemies, I'm sure, and a little more simplified because it is a tutorial scenario. But I was like, yes. I feel like they were showing us a little more complicated one at Gen Con. I think they had on the table, but I can't. That was months ago. Man, my brain was mush there. So.
It also might have been 4 players, so it might have felt more complicated.
Yeah. Okay, so start enemy turns. Activate all surviving enemies. They each perform one action from their card in the sequence shown below. Multiple enemies of the same color take their action in order of the initiative number on their tokens from low to high. And then after that, we'll start the cleanup phase, which we'll explain. And it tells us at the top we're on round 1 of 3 still. And we're at the enemy step, which is the last part on the initiative. So first, dog's gonna go. And it's just reminding us of this color order right here. And if you notice, it already removed the blue guy because we told the app we killed the archer and it know that they're dead and they're gone, so it removed them from the bar. Sometimes you won't have a chance to tell them they're all dead because it didn't pick those characters. You'll just skip by them. So first is Doggo. Doggo is here. Doggo looks at card. Doggo says guys in same space, which is you. He will attack you for just 1.
I will block, but then once per combat round, if you block any damage from an enemy in your zone, deal 1 damage to that enemy.
Boom. So and block tokens only block 1 damage. They're temporary, so once they're gone, kind of like a piece of armor, they get broken. They can only prevent 1 damage per token. Doggo is deado.
Killed him with my shield.
Okay, and then we go on to the red guys. There's a 6 here and a 4 here, so we'll go with the 4. And they only care if someone's in their space. They're very defensive, not very running around the board. They're slow. So they both have nobody in their space. They just skip. Next is the guard.
Yep. He also is looking for someone in his space. And
no one's in his space. Perfect.
And then the leader is also looking for someone in his space, which he's not.
Yep. So
and we go back around to these.
And so the closest red guy, based on the ability on the leader, will pull the closest red guy back to his space to kind of protect them a little bit.
Yep.
So that's how that rolls. And then we go to start cleanup phase. Cleanup phase literally reminds us right here, if any of us were defeated, we would mark it. The app would help us there. But we return any unused block tokens to the supply. So Mel's block token she generated would be gone if she didn't use it. And it says from heroes and enemies. Then you remove any stun cubes, which are green cubes that you'll put on enemies to basically stun them for a round. You remove those now. Stun on characters, you put 1, you can only have 1 green cube at a time for stun. You put it on your board, and next time you go to roll dice, you'll roll 1 less dice, or 1 less die in your preparation phase, then you remove that green cube. That's how stun works on us. It doesn't fully stun us for a round, or that would be like so devastating.
Yeah, especially when you only have so many rounds.
And then you remove red damage cubes from enemies that have not been defeated. So if we had a guy with like 5 health and I hit it for 2, Mel hit it for 2, we didn't kill it, it would be back to full health. So you really have to make sure you're like being efficient with each other to make sure you're taking out enemies. Otherwise, it's a waste to hit them. And then we're going to end the round. Now it reminds us, cleanup phase. Don't forget to remove any damage from enemies that were not defeated this round. See toughness and armor in the rulebook. You do not refresh armor. So when we break the black cubes off this guy, they're gone. Round 1 has ended. Thanks, Captain Obvious. Map change. Whoa! In this round, the layout of the combat scene will change. A pop-up will show you the new map, add tiles and enemy tokens as shown, but leave the rest of the tiles and tokens unchanged. Boom. So we need more tiles. So we're going to grab A11. That is going to go like so. Probably slide it over a bit.
Then A6 and 8, both long ones.
6.
6 is first, yeah.
And 8. Boom. The map just got bigger. We had no idea. These guys, I guess, were hiding in the shadows, and the sun rotated over top, and now it lit up another part of the alley, and we're like, whoa, when did you guys get here? So I'm just going to grab an archer and put that guy here. Uh-oh, now there's an archer 1 range away. That's not good. And then there's another guard here, another dog, another guard, or grunt, I should say, and then another archer. Oh, man.
Wow.
So
I thought we had it under control.
Yeah. We just got screwed, man. So a horn sounds nearby and reinforcements appear in the alleys around you. Makes sense.
All right.
Okay, we're back to prep phase. It reminds us in the app there. Let's prep. Ouchie.
Oh my God, 3 misses.
Yeah, I got 2. I'm going to spend an energy to re-roll both my misses. Unfortunately, I did get 1 arrow, so I couldn't use my ability just to re-roll it all once.
Oh my God, I still got 2 misses. Wow, this is not great, everyone.
All right.
Not great.
And you can only do that once. So I got 2 range shots here and 2 movements. So I can't use Intimidate. I can't use my range shot. It's very basic, very straightforward turn. Of course, we're going to get more skills and items in the game that will make this way more interesting. But for now, that's what's going to happen. So dashing is still an option. 3 of a kind. I didn't get. Did you get 3 of a kind that aren't misses?
No.
Nope. Okay.
I could turn that arrow into a hit. I think I go into the arrow stance.
Oh, you're choosing your stance that you have to do. Yeah.
Because I won't be able to block anything, so, okay. Okay, sorry.
it's all
Dashing. I could.
I am going to dash to here.
Yeah, I think I dash into here because I can take out this guard. Because
and get the money.
Yeah, I can turn this arrow into a melee. And then I'm stuck there. Okay, that's fine. What order do we want to do this?
Well, I have 2. I can kill 2 and also move. Oh, yeah. What was the reactions? It's still the same, right? Between us? Yeah. In the app, it shows. Yeah, they go between us. Okay, so I could, if the archers go, one of them is definitely going to shoot in. I could kill both. If the red guys go, maybe they don't hurt us, but we know the dog will probably be aggressive. So I don't know. If you go first, can you generate a block or anything? No, right?
No. I also don't need to change this to melee. Like, I can use this as an arrow, technically.
So what we could do,
if you had,
like, maybe we can hope that the dog doesn't go, and I can probably take out both archers.
Okay.
And then you take out the guy in your space, and then we like hope nothing hurts us. I don't know.
In the reaction or in the... Well, the dog will move and hit me, which is fine. I can take 1 damage.
Oh, later it will.
Yeah.
Oh.
But if these guys won't, and if this guy's dead...
Well, maybe they won't. We'll see. Because remember, reaction step, we don't know what they'll actually do.
Yeah.
They could have the red guy, one of them move in and attack. It's up to you.
Oh, yeah, reds are blockers, so you'll have to kill this guy
Oh,
first.
that's right.
Unless you go in there.
I don't think I should.
Okay, hold on. I was here. I could dash somewhere else. Okay, hold on a minute.
So here's the cool thing. These archer guys usually can't hit you if you're in their space. That's something.
Oh, I could dash into here instead. I can use the melee. If I went first, I can use the melee to kill this guy, and I can use, or no.
But if we can be away from this guy.
Actually, yes. I dash into here. I use the melee to kill the archer. I use this to kill the dog.
Yeah.
And then I just spend an energy to move into here. Then we're not going to likely
Or
get hit
here.
by anything. Well, then I might get hit by that guy.
I could kill that guy instead.
But
Yeah, you go first. You
okay,
go first.
Okay.
Switch it and you go first.
Okay.
Okay.
So, I'm in this space. I will use a melee to
So reds
kill...
are only blockers to range attacks.
Yes.
Yeah, we only have 1 round left after this.
I know.
And we still have to do 4 damage basically to the boss to get him off the board.
I am going to use energy, I think, to move up, but I'm going to use the melee to get rid of this guy.
And there's another action you could do during the combat phase right now. You could always spend 1 energy 1 time to move 1 space.
Yeah, I think I'll do that.
And unlike dashing, when you move out of a space with enemies, you don't get hurt. And remember, this guy's an ability, though, that stops us from voluntarily moving out of a space.
Okay, so this guy is dead.
Okay.
Then I will use my arrow. Oh, the arrow and the dog. Okay.
You are 1 away to... Oh, but he's protected.
He's protected. So then I could...
You could do 1 damage on this guy, and then I'll do the other damage on him, and then... Oh, yeah, but I still can't kill the dog.
Then where am I going? I'm going to use an energy to move. Maybe... Okay.
If you go in this guy's space, he can't shoot you, but
Okay.
you'll still be within doggo range.
Oh, man.
Maybe don't kill the archer then, if we can be further away.
Okay, so let's rewind all of
Here.
that. Start that again.
If you don't
I
kill...
dash into...
Well, you were here, so you dash either here or here. I would dash probably still what you did, because we chose that, so you're locked in that. But now I'm saying on your turn, you could just move in here, kill the dog, and then move in here, and this guy can't shoot you.
I can't move twice. Because I don't have any move.
Oh.
But I could...
My bad.
No. What I could do is spend an energy to move into here.
What is this, though? Can you do that?
Oh, yeah, what am I doing? Yeah, I could, but then I'd only have 1 attack. Because I'd have to use this as a...
But it is still an attack. You get to do a move and then a melee. Right? Isn't that how that works?
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I misread that.
I'm trying not to alpha game.
No,
she
no,
should
no.
have the dice hidden, but she doesn't even understand how they work, so I'm just kidding.
No. I thought
Mel's
it was
the
one.
traitor.
Okay, yeah. So then I can attack.
So just kill the dog and get in this space. You'll be far enough away from the range character. And this guy can't usually hurt you when he's in a space because he's an archer. When you're right in front of him, he has trouble like aiming his arrows.
You're right. So I use my arrow, which
that's what I
counts
would
as
do.
a move and an attack. So let's go in here, move and attack.
Yep, doggo gone.
Then I have to spend energy to move.
Yep.
Oh, no. Yeah. Sorry. Yep. Sorry, I thought I had an arrow left. Go ahead. Move me in. Spending energy to move. Then I use a melee to attack that guy.
Okay.
And he's dead.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Sure.
That's good, no?
Sure. Well, when he's in the space with you, he doesn't really do anything to you. But...
Oh, then I could have taken out this guy.
That guy could... I don't know. He'll get moved from him later, but...
Okay, then switch it. Put that guy back.
I don't know.
Arrow or the...
I don't know.
Use it on that guy.
Yeah? Okay.
I think so. And then these are 2 misses.
So now reactions, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So Archer is going to hit me. He's here. He will just attack for 1. I lose a health. So I'll just take 1 health, 1 damage here. Boom. And then the boss...
Oh, he's got a range.
Yeah, so he has nobody in his space, but he does have someone 1 range away, which is you.
Yeah.
So he's just going to hit you for 1.
All right, I'll lose 1 health.
Yep, so we didn't know.
That's okay.
We didn't know. It happens. Okay, now it's my turn. I am going to... And then all enemies are going to go after that, but we know what they do based on their card. So I will just... let's do 2 range attacks. The guard is 2.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll do both attacks on the guard, which kills him. Then I will move in with 1 move. I get this gold or gem or resource, ruby, money, whatever, because there's no enemies in the space. Then I'll move 1 more, and I'll go to where you are. And that is that. Then we go to enemies. And we start the enemy turns. So doggo, nope. Archer, they can only hit 1 range away. We're not 1 range away from this guy. We're too far. And this guy, we're in his space. We're 0. So he says it has to be a 1. So that can't hit us. Red guys, closest one to us is on the boss space. He just wants to attack someone in his space. No one's in his space. Then we will go to the guard. They're gone. No more guards. And the boss man just really wants to attack in his space. Then we go abilities. He will move the closest red minion not in this enemy zone, one zone closer. So that guy will move one zone closer to the boss man.
Okay.
And then we start the cleanup phase and remove damage, remove block tokens, stuns, all that business. Nope. Round 2, continue. Oh, look, they go first.
Oh.
And then we go after.
Okay, that hopefully is still okay.
All right, so let's roll. Oh, man.
Oh, this is better.
I got 3 super arrow shots, which is great. I can shoot extra range away, but literally I'm right next door, and the only problem is this frontliner needs to go first. So literally these symbols don't do anything for me extra.
I could go first because I
regular hits.
I have two melee.
Well, I can shoot 1 in and kill this guy, and then shoot 2 in and break his armor.
And I have 2 hits. Which is
it doesn't really matter, I don't think, which order.
No.
Because they get to react first. So
no, it would just depend on if you needed the guy out of the space if you wanted to shoot in.
Well, I have 3 shots. So as long as we can get that guy dead.
Yeah, we can. Because I have 2. And you have 2 on him, plus 1 for the...
I do need to stay where I am, no dashing. But again, we'll take damage. At the end of the round, we get to do our exit at the end of the 3rd round cleanup phase. If there's an enemy in our space, so if I'm still in this space, I'll take a damage. And if there's still any enemies in the exit space, we take a damage exiting. So we're going to keep that in mind. I don't think it matters which order we go in.
Okay, I'm just picking my stance real
quick. Because
do
you have enough damage?
No, I have 2 damage.
2 damage. So that is enough. If I were to kill the red guy, if I went first, kill the red guy, knock the 2 armor off.
Then you could spend energy to move.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Sorry.
We spend energy, we move in, and then I'm done. And then you just get to go after and do your 2 attacks. Move in, 2 attacks on the boss. He's dead.
Yeah.
And then we're safe. We're good. So I don't think it matters. So
all right,
unless, yeah, it doesn't matter because we don't get to go before enemies.
Low guard, I'm going to choose.
So yeah.
I don't think it matters.
Are you dashing though? You could dash. Oh, but then you would take damage because there's an enemy in their space.
Well, no, because if I take,
did you take that?
I could.
No. Is that important though?
No, because because they have reactions first.
Oh yeah.
I don't want to be in their space.
Yeah, okay.
So I think
because more enemies, right?
I'm going to stay in low guard.
Okay, perfect. So we start the action phase. Let's just do enemy reactions. So the guard, he's dead. So we're going to click dead. Yes, he's dead. I told you he's dead. Doggos, sorry about sorry to deliver the news. Your dog's dead. Closest red guy, there's 2, but number 3 is the lowest one, so he'll go. He's just gonna move to the first in initiative order. And then boss man is gonna do a range attack on it will matter who goes first here. Whoops, I forgot about that. So yes, who goes first matters for enemies. Doesn't matter. We both have a damage. I don't know. It's a tutorial. We all get to heal to full at the end.
Yeah, fine. I'll do it.
Doesn't matter. No,
but
it will in the future.
Because I only have 6 health and you have 7 health total. So.
Oh, okay. So, anyways, but we learn. That's what we're doing here. Okay, and that's it. They only do one thing on their little enemy bar. If I didn't make that clear.
Imagine he got 2 block. We wouldn't get through all that.
Yeah, we would lose if we weren't close enough.
Wow.
Yeah, if we were more than 2 spaces away, we would. Or no, if we were exactly 2 away.
Yeah.
And no one was closer, we would lose.
Oh, we have to also mark that we got the gem.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Nice.
Which does ask you at the end, did you get the gem and you forgot to click it? It does make sure you do it. But, okay.
All right.
So now it's our turn. So you're first. Go ahead.
All right, I'm going to use a move, and I'm going to move in here.
Okay.
I'm going to do 2 attacks on the armor. And this one, just for fun, I'll just generate a block. I don't think it's going to matter because...
No, if you... Dragons has a question, does this game have the if the player dies, you lose the scenario rule? It depends on the objectives for the scenario. There might be an objective that says, just get out, someone has to get out the exit, like surviving players. It might have all the players need to get out the exit. But if you do lose all your health in a scenario, you will be KO'd. You lay your mini down. You literally just sit there, down, dead. Someone, if they have a healing effect, can heal you and they res you mid-scenario. Otherwise, if you reach the end of the scenario, you tell the app at the end of a round you've been defeated. It will then give you a corruption card you have to take And we can go all over the KO effects when they actually happen, because it might be different if they happen in a story or during a combat. All that matters. So we'll deal with that when and if it happens. But no, you don't automatically lose unless the scenario says both of you need to get out, or both you need to still be alive at the end. Otherwise, just one of us right now has to get out the exit. That's literally all we have to do. Obviously, this tutorial is a little more easy probably, but... All right. You done?
Yeah.
All right. So I will... Yeah, I'll just shoot in one arrow. I have to hit the frontliner. He's only has 1 health, dead. Then I'll shoot twice with my other arrows and just hit this guy for the 2 damage he has, and he's dead. And then I'll spend 1 energy to move 1 space. And again, movement is not the same as dashing. Dashing, I would have taken damage, but that's only in prep phase. I'm just doing a regular move to get there. So that at the end of cleanup phase, when I automatically have to move to the exit, I do not have to go through any enemies and take damage. So I'm choosing to lose an energy instead, basically. All right, and that is that. Let's go to start enemy turns and see what they do. Oh yeah, we're probably gonna get shot by the archer.
Yeah, no, I have a block.
Oh, okay. Activate all surviving enemies. So the closest archer is going to shoot one of us. We can choose unless it's said, but on here it doesn't show that it's going to attack the one in highest initiative or lowest initiative. So players get to choose. We're going to choose Mel.
I have a block for that.
Yep. And then we'll activate the red guy. No one's in his space to attack, so he's good. And the boss is dead. So start the cleanup phase. So you do the last cleanup. You still do a full cleanup phase, and then you do this auto run out the exit thing. After the last round of combat, the heroes need to escape by tracing a path to any of the exits. They all need to use the same exit and might take damage on the way, or even get knocked out. See exiting the combat scene. Yeah, if we had a bunch of enemies between us and the exit right now, and we only had like 1 or 2 health left, we both could get knocked out and not make it out the exit. So having yourself have a clear path or having enough health to get out matters. For this combat scene, the heroes must use exit A to win. If they cannot use the required exit because it is guarded by an enemy, or because they would all get knocked out from taking damage while exiting, then they can use a different exit. It means they survive, but they lose because not all objectives were achieved. Some combat scenes allow the use of any available exit. That's why they put a second exit, to kind of let you know it could matter, but right now it doesn't. So we'd still follow the normal cleanup phase. So if any of us got knocked out, we got to tell the app, return any block tokens, remove stunned enemy cubes, and remove red damage cubes from enemies. And then at the end of the cleanup phase, we then right now do that automatically move out of the exit thing. We're literally in the same space, so we're good. We just move out. No enemies are in our space we left. No enemies are in any of the spaces we're moving through. So we're out. We're good. No extra damage. Now, here's the thing. This game has an optional at the end of a scenario. If you need another round and you maybe want to complete those objectives, you can take another round. At the cost of everyone has to take a corruption card ability that is going to be very punishing and stick with you for a while, supposedly. You can get rid of them, I think. But yeah, they're punishing. I don't want to do that. We're obviously we don't need to, but this option is in every combat. You can take another round if you really need to, but it is at a grave cost. So you could choose to not and just fail. Again, most missions are fail forward. This tutorial, though, will make us replay it until we actually succeed, because it wants to make sure we're ready to venture off into the full game. So we did complete. We're not going to take another round. It is reminding us, did you do your objectives? If you didn't, you can take another round. We're going to say no. I'm sure they wouldn't punish us that much in the tutorial if we took another round.
Oh, yeah.
I would hope they would be like, normally you get a corruption, but this time you don't. So main objectives, we defeated militia guard officer guarding exit A. We also left from exit A. And it says because of the tutorial, if you fail to achieve, you got to do it all over again. So familiarize yourself with the rules in order to succeed. So basically go read the rule book again if you're still stinking it up, because you probably missed something. Then next, confirm objectives. Yeah, I clicked them. I'm good. I confirmed them. Objectives not completed. None. Okay, yep, that looks good to me. I didn't misclick.
I do like that they give you
Yeah,
that,
me
so.
too. Not, oops, I accidentally clicked next. Oh, I'm screwed.
Like, I actually didn't do that.
So recover and reset. So usually after every combat scene, you perform recovery and rest and record the health of your heroes. As this combat scene is a tutorial, all heroes restore all their health and energy to the available box and return any corruption cards they may have received. There you go. That answers my question.
So we get the heal.
So we'll just move them all back, but normally we'd only get one. So this is why they say in the rule book, potions, gold, grab them in the scenario when you really need them, because you don't always get to heal everything back. So you got to handle that later. Yeah, they have built-in checks because they've seen Rob misclick.
Yeah,
100%.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. They know.
100%. So James is here. James, hey, how's it going? Says, this game is a lot of fun. Playing your dice behind screens as the default rule is weird for a co-op setting like Gloomhaven. Played it with everyone knowing what dice each one rolled. I played with 3 other people. Yeah, we're playing with it not hidden because we're on stream. We want to make sure everyone can see what we're doing and it makes sense because people might watch us to like learn how the game works and play. But it's totally optional. I think it's just there for like keeping the game moving. So you might not go into analysis paralysis, evaluating all 12 or 16 dice at the table, slowing the game down, but also prevents alpha gaming from one, aggressive alpha gamer play at the table telling you, no, you need to go first because you have these dice. So it just kind of keeps it flowing where you just make some decisions secretly and tell people kind of like, yeah, I can take care of that guy and I can attack and I can move around the board. But you're just never allowed to tell them what's on the dice or show them. I think it's just to keep the game moving and prevent alpha gaming. But like I said, if you're playing solo and you're playing two-handed with full open information, there is a solo mode that does make it a little harder because you fully have all information. But we're just playing kind of a middle ground. And if the game's a little bit easier, totally fine. That just means we get to stream more of it before losing on the channel, which is great. Our campaign won't end as early, hopefully. All right. Each hero recovers, this is normal, what it would say. Each hero recovers 1 health, 1 energy that enter the hero's health below. For any heroes that were KO'd, instead set their health and energy to 2 and click the skull button next to the picture. Each KO'd hero takes a corruption card. Obviously, we're at full health because it's a tutorial. And then it says click on any gems or food you've collected if you forgot to collect them. They present them again as a double check in case I forgot, like I almost did. And victory, you've completed your objectives. Combat's 1, 0 out of 0. So the tutorial doesn't count.
Yeah.
Gems, we got 1 gold worth of gems. Loot collected, none.
I don't like to see that.
I hate this game.
Yeah.
I collected no loot. Why am I even playing this? I'm just kidding. Leave combat. Don't worry, the loot will come. Brown frames like this one. Okay, we already read that. You dash down the colonnade to join the crowds, hoping to lose. So it still hasn't highlighted we're in any, so that tutorial is definitely its own thing.
Yeah, I think like...
So we haven't even really got to the first chapter yet.
No.
I don't know if that's what this is right now, because it's not filling it in either. You dash down the colonnade, join the crowds, hoping to lose any guards on your tail. You find yourself on a busy street lined with shops. You pause to consider your next move. Whoever the girl was, she is clearly no friend of the Empire, and she was your only lead on how to get in touch with Naski. There is one small problem. You have no idea where the guards dragged her off to. Take story card 1 from the unlock box and add it to your story deck. The story deck would go on our party card here and be collected in our party box to be saved. And like I said at the start of the stream, it is just a reminder on what important story beats have happened, especially if you take a break from the game for a while. You can kind of look through your story deck to kind of remember what's going on. So this just reminds us we met a flower girl who is basically a ninja assassin who is better at us at fighting. She was taken by the militia. Obviously, she's not that great if she got captured, but yeah, she's basically a murdering assassin of some kind.
She looks like she's got an elf. She's got elf ears.
Yeah. Okay, we continue. You stop a passing orc dressed in a fine tunic. She looks up at you. She looks you up, and down, and seems suspicious of you. But your politeness sets her at ease. You tell her a companion of yours had a bit too much to drink in one of the caravansary taverns and was taken by the militia when he got a bit too rowdy. It's not the first time there's been a commotion in the caravansary. All sorts try to get into the city. The militia drag troublemakers off to the guardhouse. Guardhouse, remember that. I don't know where it is exactly, but it's somewhere around the university. Remember that. You won't have any trouble finding it. Leave the caravansary through the southeast gate. Remember that. And just down the road, you will see a statue of Saint Mehabad. Remember that. The university is southeast of the statue. Remember that. The guardhouse should be somewhere around there. Remember that. Okay, it is hinting at stuff on purpose, as it tells you in the rule book. And probably already told us a little bit, and will tell us now, I think, too. When you're going to play one of those moving around the map with your party tokens and playing the game of hunting down clues, it will give you tips in the story on where you might want to be heading and what we're looking for to progress. Hopefully we can find that without too much trouble. So let's go that way. So here's some instructions. We're going to place the map of SFR in front of you and place your party token and mini at location 1.
Sorry, just let me clean up this real quick.
Yeah, we can.
Or just
yeah,
like put it off to the side.
Yeah. But you can put the map over top of this stuff. It's totally fine. Yeah, I don't think we need this scenario anymore, but we might need something.
Yeah, like it didn't tell us clean it up, but
I think you do. Like that's
like it says end combat, so I think that's supposed to be.
Yeah, the problem is the tutorial, so we haven't really even started. So I'm sure it'll.
All right.
Okay.
And then.
Oh, hey Nick. Nick says, so glad to catch you guys live. I have to go back and see how you did with your box opening for SWU. You can scrub right to the end and see. I just go over the legendaries and rares and stuff at the end if you want to save yourself some time. Because, man, you probably know all the cards since I've taken a break for a while. The stream took like 3 hours, literally going over cards. I've never read any of the cards for set 3 till yesterday, except for some of them I read in the morning and the day before online, but I still didn't retain them. But also chat was like explaining, I'm not very good with, I've never seen the Clone Wars, and I didn't realize like the entire set is focused on the Clone Wars. I thought it was mainly the prequels, but it's only a little bit of the prequels supposedly, so I was really lost. But it was fun to like read all of the cards for the first time. But if you know all the cards are set, just scrub to the end and you can see what I pulled. Save yourself some time, Nick. But I do appreciate you checking it out. But good to see you. Hopefully I'll see you soon when I actually am not sick anymore and get back into playing some Star Wars. So yeah. All right.
Sorry, this had to place our figure
On number one.
Okay.
I would assume.
Yeah, because that's where we started.
Let's see. One player should control the app while the other player follows the party's movements on the map using the party mini as shown by the app on your first move. Find the location you want to visit on the map, then use the app to navigate there. There is a windrose in the bottom right corner of the map to guide you. Keep track of your current location by moving the party token on the map. Brian, thank you so much for the super chat. Not helping with game pronunciations. LOL. Yeah, don't. Brian, did you see? Were you here earlier?
I don't know that Brian was here at that point.
Hey, Brian, this is, go, if you look at this game on BGG, go to the file section. This is the only file there. It is a 2-page document, literally with all the pronunciations of, not everything, as we learned.
Yeah, Yogi's
but most things in the game are actually here. This is the only file that's there. No reference, no variants, no rule book. This is the only thing there. But I said I'm going to fully ignore it and just butcher all the pronunciations. But Brian, if you do want to annoy me and try to correct me every 2 seconds, you can use this and cut and paste them in the chat for fun. I mean, if you want to help me, I said annoy by accident. Oh, that slipped out. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah. The teacher side of you definitely wants to be like, no, that's not how you say it. But you're like, damn, I don't know that word either. Is it Eschsphere? Is that really what it's called? Yeah. I have it open, but I refuse. Oh, the place is called Eosaphir. Eosaphir. But I'm not gonna. No. Okay. Okay. So let's just go, I guess. It says pay close attention to clues and directions given in the story to find your destination and discover Eosaphir secrets. Feel free to play along. If you notice we might not be going the right way, or there's something in the story you caught that we didn't catch, yell at us in the live chat if you're here and say like, no, guys, they said this, you should go south. I know you might not be able to see everything on the map. I'll zoom in a little bit, but, and maybe we'll hold it up a bit just to show you some examples, but we need to keep our mini on there and like where it currently is. So hopefully you don't drop it and forget, but that is the plan. You're in the center of the main plaza of the caravanserai. You were told to leave the caravanserai through the southeast gate to find the university, which is located east of here. So they show a little example of you want to move through here with your miniature and plop it there. After you choose a direction, place the party mini on your new location on the map and follow your movements through the city. So we only have one option here, but normally there'll be many options. So we are going to, let's just do this. It's fine. We can move it around. So we're just going to move our mini out here to this little intersection. Okay, right by that tower with the key banner, and we're going to say we went through the southeast gate. Okay. You get the sense you're being watched. You look around and you spot a cat walking along the wall above you. Keep your pace. You're keeping your pace. You realize this is the same cat you'd seen earlier in the caravanserai. It looks at you, then it leaps onto a ledge of a building and scampers away. So now we choose. So we could go west, back into the caravansary. I don't think that's a good idea. We're trying to find the university. So we could go north, but we know it's to the southeast of the caravansary based on what it's told us. So we would either want to go east or south, but if I look on the map, I can't go east here. I think maybe east would take us there, but we're like standing here. So I think we go south is kind of like the smart play there. Let's see what it does. So it tells us, it knows you're in a small square just southeast of the caravansary. A statue of Saint Mehabad, which literally, it says, Mehabad with her hands raised stands in the center of the plaza. So if you look here, there's the statue. We were here, we move here, we click which way we go, and it tells us about our surroundings. And it's very purposeful, like what symbols and stuff it has, like the details on the map, basically. If that makes sense. So we're here. And you know what this reminds me of? When we were playing this the first time, we tried this out when we were learning, and when I read the rulebook, I didn't think this is what we were doing in the game, because it didn't show us this stuff at Gen Con. I had no idea this was a thing in the game. Or maybe they told us, and I, like, was distracted by shiny things.
No, I don't remember any of this.
But when we went through this, after I was thinking, this reminds me of those other games we play. They're like the black and white games with the little murders happening and stuff.
Oh, the macro
city, or whatever. Macro or whatever. That is what is going on here. They've actually put like details. I wonder if they were influenced by those games when they made this little thing, because it's kind of neat. Okay. Yeah, macro, right? Yeah. That's what it reminded me of when I was like, wait, I care what things are actually in the drawing? Oh, that's neat. It's not just generic fantasy map. That's very cool. Okay, so now we need to go southeast. So I think... am I on the app? Okay, so from here, we can go north, northeast. I think I want to go northeast, right? Going west, we're trying to go southeast of the number 1, right? The university is somewhere. So this is where we start. They said the university is somewhere southeast. So it's like, probably 14, 8, 9, something like that, right? Mm-hmm. So that's the way we want to go. But the intersection we're at, you can't go directly east. You can't go south. There's a wall there. So I say we go northeast to here. And I tell the app I did that. Holy, look at the options next. As you turn the corner, you find the same cat you saw minutes earlier, sitting in the middle of the street looking intently at you. When you get closer, it tilts its head backwards, moves a few paces away, and turns again to look back at you. It clearly wants you to follow it and seems very determined about it. It heads northeast. You realize you have a choice to make. Do you follow the cat and see where it leads you, or ignore the cat and focus on getting to the flower girl before something bad happens to her? Is it really an option? Is she trying to lead us there? I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. But it heads northeast, but we want to go southeast. I think the game is trying to test us, like, are you paying attention to instructions? Because we told you already it's southeast. Now you're seeing distractions. Squirrel. So I'm thinking we just go south if we're trying to get to like 8, 9, or 14.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go against this, and I'm just going to go straight south. So I would just, I guess, go to this intersection if I went straight south. I think I stop at every intersection. It'll tell us if we went the wrong way. Like if I say I'm going south and I put myself in the wrong spot, it will, again, describe where you should have ended up. So I'm going to say, we could have went southwest, actually. Hold on. But 9 is not...
9 doesn't look like a university.
9 is outside the walls, too.
Oh, yeah. I don't think
9 is outside the walls. So southeast of the caravansary is, I guess, 8 or 14.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll get a clue at the next spot is what I would be thinking. So I go south, for example. The reason why I'm not taking polling and voting and going with you guys on which way to go here, it is a tutorial. We played it before. I don't remember what options we picked, but I do know where we need to go. Kind of. We made mistakes before, and I might not remember. That was a few days ago. But in the future, when we're blindly searching for something, we're all going to work together for right or wrong and have some fun trying to get around. So now we stand in a bustling crossroads in front of a statue of a sitting scholar in academic robes. Is that where we're right here? Yeah. At 8, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. We went to the right spot. Okay. To one side, you see a large plaza in front of an ornate building. An archway leads into a wide courtyard where scholars, young and old, hurry about carrying knapsacks filled with parchments and Power Rangers lunchboxes. You have found the University of Esafir.
Oh, excuse me.
You're trying to hold it?
No, I was trying to just cough, Sorry.
Sorry, it's a university, not a preschool. My bad. Okay, remove sticker 8 from the map key if you can do that on camera to show us, Mel.
Yeah.
People love watching stickers get peeled and board games get ruined on the internet. Oh, yeah. So there's the University of Esafir. We found it. There are several large buildings in the surroundings, which could be the guardhouse where the girl is being kept. Which shall you investigate?
Okay, sorry.
So there's several large buildings. They've given us 3 options. We know we need to go to the guardhouse. But which one do we think could be the guardhouse? Here, I'll do a poll for this one. I'm pretty sure I remember which one, but I'm not going to say. And Mel, don't say anything.
No, I'm not saying anything.
Let's just see what you guys would pick. So, walk into the university courtyard. Fortified building with cross. It's in the shape of a cross. Sure. Fortified building. I'll just put that. And then the townhouse. Marble-clad townhouse. Okay. I'll just put those 3 options. And you vote. Which one do you think would be the guardhouse where the girl is kept? Which one would you go and check first and click if you were playing? If you already know the answer, go ahead and click. If you don't know the answer, click whatever. We're just having some fun. Brett says he's just here for the polls.
Nice.
I don't know if following the cat what it would have done. I have no idea. I kind of don't want to know because I think we're in proper story now. We're in the first chapter. We're no longer in tutorial, but maybe this is part of the tutorial because it's the first time showing us these map things. I'm not sure. Oh, at the top it shows our current objective in the brown. I didn't notice that.
Oh,
find the university southeast of the statue of Saint Mahabad. Then look for the guardhouse. I never noticed that when we were playing before.
I didn't either. Okay.
I'm pretty sure it was there, but maybe it was added. Again, this app could have updated. I don't know. RPGs always mess me up with this, says Tom. Obvious choice, or are they trying to fool me? Exactly. Yeah, exactly. I just want to see what you guys would think. All right, I'm going to end the poll. Thank you all that voted. 64 likes on the video. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. Fortified building, 66%. 19 picked the courtyard in the university, and which would have been looking around, I guess. So maybe we would have found more information that way. Or the townhouse, 14%. So let's go with the one that the chat wants us to pick. Yeah, examine the fortified building in the shape of a cross. You approach the imposing, high-walled building. There are guards on either side of the door, and banners bearing the seal of Cartical, billowing in the breeze. This must be the place.
Nice.
Well, it must be. I will find out if it really is. Suddenly, you hear the sound of a commotion. Cries of, "Stop, thief!" ring out from down the street. The guards at the door rush to investigate, leaving the entrance unguarded for a moment. You open the door and slip inside. You find a series of small chambers ahead of you, sparsely furnished, apart from a heavy chest that catches your eye. The flower girl is bound and lying on the floor of a cell at the end of the furthest chamber. But between you and her, the rooms are crawling with guards. They look at you in surprise for a moment, but quickly spring into action. So this is a brown text box, so we know this is the start of another combat scene. So break into the guardhouse and free the flower girl. To do so, you'll need to reach her cell, defeat the militia officer guarding her, and carry her out. So, this is a point in when I would probably save if I was done with this session and wrap it up here. It will save where you're at. It will have that reminder box when you come back. We could save everything and put it back in boxes. We have been streaming for, I want to check, because I wasn't sure how long it would take to explain everything and show all this stuff. 2.5 hours. Two things going on in my mind. We could stop here and save and continue in a couple days on another stream. And leave it to a nice shorter episode so that people can watch it in time and catch up and join us, those who couldn't be here with us on a Saturday afternoon, who will be watching it later today and tomorrow morning and on Monday and whatever that works for them, you know, while they're in the office and they should be working. And then they can join us for the next episode. Or we continue on, do another combat, and save after the combat. The combat, if we work through it slowly and explain what we're doing, should only take another hour tops, I think. Normally it would take you, if you're playing off stream, not explaining to everybody who's watching and having some fun with the chat, it should take you like 15 minutes, maybe 30 tops. They are not that long, but you guys know with explanation, and we'll hang out after, probably chat and talk about our thoughts and whatever so far. So we could end up turning this into like a 5-hour stream, maybe 4.5, 3.5, who knows. But yeah, so that's what's going on in my head right now at this point before we set up a whole other scenario. What are your thoughts? We could take a break. If we're going to continue, we could take like a 5-minute break too. Go grab some refreshments, stand up for a bit, grab another drink, whatever we got to do too. Are you good to keep going?
I'm good to keep going, or I'm good to stop. Whatever your choice is, I'm 100%.
Yeah, Yogi, that's the other thing. It says, do whatever. How's your throat? Well, we're not streaming tomorrow on purpose. Especially after, I was going to do the whole, like, let's play on the weekend, do 2 days back to back. But then after yesterday's streaming, I was like, I'm not scheduling a stream the next day. Because yesterday, after 3 hours of talking, opening Star Wars cards on stream, as you can hear, my voice, or at least it feels rough. My throat kind of hurts right now. But I'm good to play another one. Just go through the fight scene and end after that, no matter what. Like, not continue the story. Hopefully it will show us that story again when we load it back up. But that's the risk. It says it'll save. You can save whenever you want, wherever you want. You literally just click the gear button and it says it automatically saves. And I was testing it earlier and it seemed like it was good. You could just exit here. There's a way to swap here. It says
on the bottom, your campaign is saved automatically.
Yeah, so even if the app crashes, supposedly like you should be good, I think. But yeah. So I'm going to keep going. So let's fight.
Let me move this then.
So it's reminding us about enemy abilities. Good thing it's using the same enemies we've already seen. So those are there as a refresher. Our components hopefully are mostly the same. So you can check the card numbers on the back. Just lay them out in order. You can do it by color too.
302, 304, 308. Yep, they're all the same.
Okay, but we need some additional tokens. And we're going to learn our first new rules here, which is kind of cool. So we need exit B, not exit A. We need objective token A, I see there at the bottom. We need treasure chest A. And we need a barricade. And the enemy tokens, we need 2 doggos. Hello? Doggo? There's a doggo.
Oh, and I need something else.
2 doggos, 2 archers, 4 grunts, 2 guards this time. Uh-oh. 1 boss man. And we need a gem and a food token this time.
4 gems.
So we're already seeing some new components you guys haven't seen in this tutorial, which is cool.
You gotta collect it all.
So I want to explain here, barricades. I don't know what it'll tell us in the app or not, but where's the rule book?
Oh, right.
You have the rule book?
Yep.
So I'll just show you physically in the rule book here, not digitally. So remember I showed you at the beginning, in the rule book, you'll learn rules as you play through the campaign your first time to kind of slowly additionally add complexities. So it's great to get the game to the table quicker. But now it's already telling us about rule 1 and 2. So Mel, if you don't have a permanent marker over there, we'll do it later. But you can check off chests, how they work, and barricades, how they work. And now you have some new rules to know, but you read them when it matters, which would be right now. And we can look at them here in the rule book. I think it's in the rule book here on the PDF. And again, the PDF's available at the link down below in the video description to the game information website. You can read the full rule book there if you want to know about the game before buying it. How it all works if we didn't show you everything. So it says, do not read these rules till the app instructs you to do so. So we're now learning we need chests. Most important thing in the whole game. Chests contain valuable loot that can benefit heroes on their adventures. To open a chest, you spend a focus, which it even shows the symbol on the token to remind you it's not the same as other tokens. So other tokens, space is empty, you just pick them up automatically. This one reminds you must have a focus action in the space to do it. It says tap it in the app. The hero that gains a new item may equip it in an appropriate slot and use it immediately. Amazing. If you do not have a free backpack slot, to place the newly gained item or items, or if you prefer not to equip them, you can put them in the party bag instead. And then outside of combat, other people can equip them and trade them and whatever. Barricades, they're tokens that represent defenses that protect a zone from range attacks. A barricade token displays a series of crossed out arrows. Heroes or enemies cannot shoot into a zone containing a barricade token from the direction the arrows are pointing. They may shoot normally from other directions, and they may shoot into zones beyond the protected one if their attacks have enough range. Okay, and you'll see that here in the setup. Boom. We didn't forget the potty break. I just want to set this up first, right before we're about to get started, and then we'll take a break. Didn't need to be right there, okay? Unless you really need to go.
No.
Okay. So next we're going to go to layout.
Oh.
Okay, cool. So this is like a whole different looking scenario. So we need a number 5, which I think is one of the tiles we're already kind of playing with. Yep. One of these here. And we need a 21 as a straight one. So let's get one of those, a long straight-o. That'll go up here somewhere. Okay, so those are straight ones I need. Then next, I need like 13, 16, 18. So there, like I said, there's a whole bunch. But again, you're looking for certain shapes. So 13 would be somewhere. Do we need 14?
No.
No, okay. Again, I didn't really put them in the proper order. I just kind of punched them out and threw them in the box. And the other ones were in order because we played that already. 13.
Yep. 13.
So yeah, I should have probably organized a little more for flow here, but
No worries.
it's all good. 18 and 16. 18, 16, 17, and 19. 19. Okay, I'll put them back in our little container that does not come with the game. Just a little Tupperware container here, whatever. Okay. Most important, I'll put the chest here in this room. Looks like the barricade goes here, so we cannot shoot into from this second area. We cannot shoot into this third area over here with ranged attacks.
Oh, look at all those gems.
Oh, exit B is down here.
Yeah, because it said like get her and carry her back.
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, and then we have a little start spot token down here to know us that's where we're going to start for sure. I assume that's what that always means.
And it was blue, red, green, purple.
Okay, here's our main objectives. Save the flower girl, or else we can't have the wedding. Collect the objective token, because that's how you do that. So the objective token we know is A here, and it's guarded, just like the exit was guarded in the last scenario we played. So we cannot rescue her until we kill that guy. That guy should have armor on him.
Oh yeah, I didn't get that far. Sorry. Yep.
I know that from the tutorial. Thanks, tutorial.
Yep.
And then we must leave from exit B, and we must complete all main objectives to succeed. I'm assuming in the future this could say complete 2 of the 3, or complete the first 2,
Or as many as you can.
or 1 character, or all characters. I'm sure like it'll be more advanced and more difficult and more complex as we go, but right now it's pretty straightforward. You do it all or you lose. Special rules. Chests. We read it. Barricades. We read it.
Oh, so it does tell you. Okay.
It doesn't tell you what the rules are, but it just tells you
when to.
get the damn rule book and read.
Okay.
Which I like. So first round, we're going to take a break right now, but enemy sequence, we'll have enemies going first, then us after them, which is so annoying.
That is annoying.
And then we do our prep phase. So before we get into it, we will be right back. We're back. Yogi, thank you so much. Freaking gifting 10 memberships.
Yogi, thank you so much. Wow.
Yogi, thank you so much for your generosity. Appreciate it. Thanks
you.
for gifting 10 memberships to other viewers to the channel. Thank you so much. Thanks for the support.
Thank you.
Yeah, Keith, thank you for the reminder too. I got that. Thank you. Thank you. But yeah, thank you so much. 10 memberships. Jeez Louise. Thank you so much. You're too kind. Too kind. And welcome to our new members. Some returning, some new. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. We were starting a prep. And again, combats are normally quick. But we're going to take our time, of course, and kind of go through it, walk through it with you guys. So you understand. And we understand. So we're just going to do our prep phase now, which is rolling some dice. I got one miss, one move,
All right.
one range attack, one melee. I could spend an energy, but this is not tutorial anymore. At the end of the scenario, guaranteed we only get 1 health and 1 energy back, assuming we're not knocked out. I see some gems. We got 2 gems, 1 gem here, and 1 here. That could be used to buy health later in a rest. But remember that chapter layout for the act showed 2 combats before a rest. And I don't think it counts as tutorial, but maybe it does. I don't know.
How many rounds do we have for this one?
Um,
Does it say?
4 rounds,
4
it says at the top.
Okay.
So 4 rounds to get the girl that's back here and GTFO.
Yep.
That's not a lot. Oh, and get the chest. Let's not forget.
There's also a food here. I don't really know yet what food does. Do you?
Yeah, it helps us get health back.
Oh, okay.
In the rulebook, it says grab food and potions. Those you can use before getting to the rest phase, or whatever it's called, like a rest chapter, whatever. A rest scene, I think it's called. A recovery scene. I don't remember the terminology, but it's basically the one with the campfire. We can get there. We can spend gold to buy health back and stuff. But on the journey, going through many combats and stories and stuff, you can eat food and potions.
Just 1 health.
Oh, Brian says food gets 1 health and 1 energy. There you go.
I didn't read that
I didn't remember.
page because I thought, when we get to the
Oh,
rest,
we'll read
it's
it when we get
probably-
there.
Yeah, so I'll just have to
But that you can use anytime, I think.
Yeah,
outside of
apparently, but
combat.
I didn't know that. Okay, that's good. So
I
we want to
think.
collect all the food as well that we can in case we need it.
100%.
Okay.
I just want to check for the chest.
You can use it between combats. Okay. Good to know. While you're looking at that, I'm just going to think about my stance here. Now, I don't think I'm going to stay in low stance or low guard because I didn't get any focus.
So the chest, it doesn't say the spot has to be empty or anything. It just says you have to spend a focus action and then tap on it in the app to open it.
Okay.
So obviously you'd have to be in the space, I would assume. But
okay.
I don't think enemies being there matters like it does for picking up these. I don't think. At least it doesn't say so. Mm-hmm. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong, or in the comments down below. Leave corrections in the comments if you're watching this later, and help us learn for future playthroughs. Help other people watching learn from our mistakes too, of course. Okay, so what do I got here? I did get an arrow, so no re-rolling from this.
Okay, do you want to move
Oh,
that so
yeah,
they can
sorry.
see? No worries.
I could spend an energy re-roll 1 of my dice here, but it is my more like focus die. I don't really need to move anyone in my zone. Do I want to be dashing?
I don't think I'm going to dash with the enemies reacting first.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think I'm going to dash. I'll just stay where I am. I did get 2 movement, so I think I'm okay. And I'm also I'm gonna start in arrow stance.
Yeah, I guess I'll just stick with what I got. I don't know. So it doesn't punish us
So
too
then
much.
how do we want to, I guess it doesn't really matter when the enemies are going to go with reactions first and then it's both of us. Like that, I don't think it really matters unless one of us is going to do something.
Unless you were going to like kill a blocker before I shoot in,
Yeah.
or...
I mean, I can go first with you having, because I can turn this arrow into...
going first would matter for who they move to an attack. Like the dog would move to an attack the person who is highest in initiative, most likely.
That is true. That is true.
So what stance are you doing?
I'm going to do arrow stance.
You like the offensive one?
Yeah. I didn't get any focus to be able to generate a block.
So what do you want? You go first, me go first? What are you thinking?
I can go first this round. Okay.
Okay, so there's all the goodies we could get. Let's do the enemy reactions. So the closest red guy is going to actually move into our space because we're one space away.
He's not going to attack.
He would have attacked one of us if we did dash in. And then a guard. We're not in the space with a guard. Are we one away from a guard?
No, because we didn't dash.
So they won't do anything. Okay, perfect.
That's actually
that was
very
really
good.
Okay. Now it's our turn until we're ready for enemy turns, or we've picked something up. We can select it.
What's really interesting here is the front liner actually left this space, so he's no longer blocking.
Yes.
There, which is interesting. Okay.
And we can leave
and
his
we don't
space
really
and
need to worry about him. He's not.
This is the scenario where we're gonna like run, but then there's these shiny objects kind of making me want to hold up a minute. But again, these guys, these two guards will block us from moving out of their space, so we either gotta get them out of there or kill them. Otherwise, we'll get stuck at both these spots, and they stop us from picking up things here.
Yeah. So there is a play actually. I don't know what your situation is looking like. I'm going.
Well,
first,
I can move one.
Okay.
And then attack one range, attack one melee, and I could spend energy to move one more if I needed to.
Okay. So then I think our best.
I do
case
want
scenario,
this food, so we do need to kill both these guys.
Yeah, but I think our best case scenario is I have 2 move. I move right up into this space. I use this. I can turn into a move and attack, so I can take out this guy. Okay, this guy now won't hurt me because I'm in the same space. If you move into this space, this guy won't hurt you right now. You could attack both of the dogs. And I think we would be sitting kind of pretty for our turn.
Maybe. I just need to know more about the food. For sure, the space has to be empty for it. I just need to know. I know the gems, I think, are that, but I just need to make sure the food is also. I might be making up rules. Or misremembering.
I think to pick it up, it needs to be empty as well.
For food?
For food. Does it say on here?
Yeah.
Space must be empty for food, says Brian.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Just double checking. Okay. All right.
So I think I'll try this and we'll see.
Go ahead.
And okay, so I'm going to spend 1 movement to move into here. I'm going to spend this arrow, which can be turn into a move in and attack, dealing 1 damage to the guard. Okay, that was this. And it looks like I can do it as many times. There's no limit on the amount of.
Correct, but you can only select it if you can do both the move and both the attack. If you can just attack or just move, you can't resolve it.
Okay, then I'll use this melee attack to just finish this guard.
Boom.
Okay, and then I could move, but I think I'm okay here. This guy won't attack, and if you are able to get rid of the dogs, we should be okay.
I don't know if that's what I'll do, but
I'll just stay there.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like getting food is like could help with health, but also like killing enemies could help with not losing health. So it's like.
Yeah, but then you could kill that enemy next turn, the guard or the.
But I might not be in the space. So I will. Yeah, because the problem is archer. If I'm sitting here, he shoots me. If he goes, I don't, and you do that at the end of the turn for sure. So it's like this guy will not hit me if I'm not in that space. This guy will not hit me if I'm not in that space. That's like how selfish do I want to be? I don't know. I also want this food to be picked up, but we can also get it on the way back, I guess. That could be a thing, right? So let me move to here. I will slice doggo. And now I have the option of shooting this guy, and no one in this room because of this barricade. So.
Well, if you want to save damage for yourself, then you can shoot the arrow guy. That's fine too.
Yeah, I know. It's just.
Like, as long as we're saving damage.
Yeah. I don't know what to do. Yeah, I'll just kill the dog because you could chase us around more. At least the archers, we kind of like know what they'll do, kind of. So that's that. Oops, that was that. And then my miss obviously does nothing. And I'm done. So now I go to enemies in order. Dog.
None. No dogs.
Okay. I don't need to tell the app yet, but
Okay.
And then
Bowman's,
Bowman's.
I think each one is
So we just know this one's going to shoot here and this one's going to shoot here,
Yeah.
which is like sucks, but
okay.
so I lose the damage.
Red frontliners, there's nobody in their spaces. Guard, there's nobody in his space. Leader, there's nobody in, or lieutenant,
But
nobody.
then he gets the closest red.
Yep.
There are two that are closest. So whenever that happens, we will roll a die.
I didn't take that away.
Because it doesn't say like the lowest initiative one or anything. So it's like they're both the same distance. Whenever there's like the same shortest path to take or two to choose from. In this case, I don't know if you use initiative to break it, but there is a die you just roll to, break it. So we can say the odds and evens.
Even.
Even. So this guy's going to be the one to move back into this dude's space to kind of protect him. Reach 6. But yep.
Okay.
All right.
That's it.
So new
Clean up?
round. Clean up.
No blocks, no damage. Okay.
Round 1 is ended. So enemy reaction is going to go after one of us.
We'll just put it like that for now, but we can reassess.
All right, what do we get? Cock die and this die.
Oh, I did get 3 of a kind.
Oops. All right, whatever. Okay. So I got an arrow, so no reroll off my ability. Oops. Bumping my dice. Okay.
I
so-
think I'm keeping this. This
Whoa.
yeah,
That's
I
a
did
lot of damage.
I got 3 of a kind though.
Yeah, you could. Oh, so you can change one to any result you want.
Yeah, but so I could potentially change one of these into an arrow, allowing me to do my ability twice.
Yeah, get really
Stay
offensive.
in this stance. I also can, in this stance, I do not suffer damage from dashing, so I could dash into here.
So you would take no damage from this guy.
Correct, and I could even use my arrows as is just to shoot back.
Or
And then yeah, I'm gonna do this. I like this. This is the most damage I've had yet.
So what I think is we kind of ignore these guys this way and we go that way on the way out, maybe, but we got to be careful this guard doesn't block us. But we could just worry about this path right now to get the girl.
Yep.
Okay, so I have movement, but I could also use one of these focus to like do that whole move a guy out of the space. So I don't know who I would do that to.
I guess it depends, right? If you have the extra die or not.
I could dash, but I would get hurt. I do have a way to kill this guy and then get the food. And then I could just move twice. So I don't know who should go first, but
I am gonna dash. I don't take any damage from leaving that space.
I'm not gonna dash.
I can go first.
Okay.
Okay. What my thoughts are here is I use one arrow to shoot back into the space I just left.
To prevent him from shooting one of us.
Yep. And then you'll be able to collect that gem potentially as you
Oh
run
yeah,
up.
true.
Okay. Now I think I leave the space that I'm in alone. Oh, you were saying about leaving. I have a couple options here. I can use this arrow to run up here. That will do a damage. And then I have 2 more damage. Doesn't take out the guard, meaning the guard is going to hit me. I don't think that's great. I think I should maybe...
I think you start working on the purple guy, to be honest. Because remember, we got to go back anyway.
And then I'm in the space. Or I go...
Oh, but then he'll hit for like 2 damage.
Yeah. Plus the red guy would be in there as well. So
Okay.
the other option I can do is I could go in there, hit for 1 with this, hit for 2. So he's... Oh, but then there's no point of doing the damage that...
You could like kill this
that
guy
one,
and
get
then,
rid of the
and then move into
and then
here.
that's what I was thinking with energy. Okay, let's do that. So let's use this die here as my ability. All counts as a move and attack. So I'll move in and attack. I guess this guy doesn't matter.
How much? You still have 2 attacks after that?
Yeah, but that
You
can
should
just,
have killed like this guy then.
but this can just break
Oh,
his
the armor. Yeah, the armor.
So then these 2 will break the armor.
Okay, I see.
Then I'll spend 1 energy and I'll move in here. And if I'm lucky enough to roll a
Yeah.
focus, we'll get the chest. If not, and then potentially I can get rid of that guy
So
next
now
turn.
enemy reactions.
Yeah, and hopefully that's not too bad. I don't want you to take any damage.
Dog. No dogs. Archer, one in my space. Oh, they have a movement thing for when I'm in the space. He wants to move away.
Away. Oh,
So
interesting.
I don't know what that symbol is actually.
Oh, it's not on here. Oh, it's on the back of the book.
I think he says he's moving away from X to A, maybe.
Yeah, it's not on
That doesn't make
here.
sense. Yeah, it's like a brown line with an arrow going right to an A. So like, but there's.
Is he moving to? Oh, he's moving towards. Is that?
Oh, maybe towards objective A. It means.
Yeah. Because that's an arrow.
I know. But it's usually to a character. But I think he just wants to get out of our space. But like, which way would he go? I'm
Maybe
gonna say
that.
this way, because that's like towards objective A, maybe.
Moving
Yeah.
towards
Oh,
objective
okay.
A. Okay.
That makes sense.
That's
I
what
mean,
we
that's what I guess deductive reasoning we'd go with. Since A is the objective, is to that. Yeah, I would assume so. I've never seen that symbol before yet, and I
then
didn't recognize it from the rulebook either.
Okay, and then a red.
So the red guy that's closest to one of us is this guy or this. Yeah, no, it's this guy. Oh, or this guy. Sorry.
So then,
So one of them will move.
so we go lowest initiative, right? Or do
Yeah,
we do-
yeah. Lowest initiative. That's correct. Yeah, we have a 1 and a 2, so obviously it's number 1. Yeah,
That's actually better because
maybe. But on the way back, if we have to go through the exits, we got these guys are going to both damage us. That's really bad, actually.
maybe we can snipe those guys.
But at least if we're killing, these guys will start working their way back to the boss man if he's still
yes.
alive.
So
But
then we can.
who knows? We'll see how it goes. All right. So now it's my turn.
Yes.
Okay, based on this
Here,
situation.
do you want to just hide that? Sorry,
Yep.
it's your dice.
I guess I'll just move. To here. I will kill the archer. Then I will move again. Oh yeah, pick up the gem, of course. Put that in our party thing. I'll select one in the app. Done. And then I will range. Oh yeah, move. Wait. I moved once. Sorry, I'm not moving again. I killed the archer. Then I will range attack this guy. And then I will move my last move to here.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if that's good, but it's what the dice have given me. So
All right.
now enemy turns. Boom.
So no dogs. There's no bowmen. Grunts. Nobody's in their spaces. Guard. Nobody's in the space. Lieutenant.
No one
Nobody's
in
in
the
the
space.
space. But then he's gonna pull the closest.
You want him to go this way if we're planning on going
Yeah,
this
yeah.
way? Yeah. Oh, actually, there's a tie. So we,
Oh, we have to do the-
roll the die. Yeah,
All
it's
right.
random. We don't choose.
Do you want to do like odds, evens?
Sure.
Even. Okay, that's good.
Perfect. Yeah, I forgot about that. The random die roll. I just explained that and then I forgot.
Alrighty.
Cleanup phase. Okay.
tokens?
No cubes, no nothing. Okay. Round 2 has ended. We're halfway there. And we haven't even got one objective done. Oh no. Okay.
Oh, yeah, same.
Yeah,
same.
enemy reaction will be after one of us.
Oh, okay.
So I got an arrow, so I don't get to re-roll. I have 1 miss. I could re-roll that 1 miss for 1 energy.
This is very good. I'm going to stay in my stance. And I did get a focus that we can use to open the chest. So then I can get rid of the guard 100% with my dice.
And then you'll automatically get the girl. So I don't need to go there. And you'll get the gem once he's gone.
Yeah. So then you can start maybe clearing the way back.
Yes.
And
So
we need to get these two.
well, with this, I don't. Yeah, this sucks. So I can I could range attack this guy once, and move in with an energy, and then attack him to kill him.
Have you spent any energy? Not a bad idea because you'll get 1 and 1 back.
Or I spend 1 to just reroll the miss and hope I get a
Hope it's a
move.
foot.
But I would love to dash right now, but that doesn't help me.
Yeah, because unless you go first, you could go first.
And then right now, if I don't reroll, this focus does nothing because I'll need these 2 attacks. And that because this focus I can't use with a miss symbol, so literally 2 dice are dead right now, basically.
What you could do, you could re-roll and see what you get, and then based on that, you dash in. Then you go first, because then you can take this guy out before he can attack you, and then you will be fine.
I don't like this. I hate rerolls in games. I'm going to spend 1 to reroll 1 die. Not a great idea. I would never recommend to do this, but I'm going to do it. It's an arrow. Okay, sure. I didn't get a move, but I could dash, but then the problem has 2 range attacks, which don't help me. I'll get stuck there with him. And you're not guaranteed to come back either. Or, how much move do you have? 2?
No, I only have 1 because I'm going to use this for the chest.
Oh, okay.
So I have 1 move.
Technically 2 if you go in this stance, because then you could do...
I'm going to stay in the stance, yeah. Oh, so then 2, yeah. So then I can...
So you would get this, move in and hit him.
And then move out.
And then move here.
Yep.
So you're not enough to get here, and if I do 1 damage on this guy to kill him. Yeah, that reroll stunk it up. All right. So what are you thinking? You go first, I go first. What are you thinking? Then enemies will react. I'm not too worried because these guys usually don't move and attack.
Yeah.
Because they're still kind of gentle on us. This guy could range attack. So maybe you go first and try to kill him.
Okay,
We've
so we'll
seen
stay
him
in
do
this.
that.
Yeah.
Maybe he doesn't even go. I don't know.
Maybe the chest will.
We gotta learn. We gotta learn from our past and see if it works.
All right, I'm gonna spend a focus to open the chest.
So in the app, best part of the whole game right here. Ready? This is why I play this game. We click the chest. Are you sure you didn't accidentally click it, Rob? Take the following item from the unlock box or token tray and place it in the party backpack. Any weapons or equipment you find may be equipped by the hero who found them. So card number 101, which is the officer's Yatagan? Some kind of oriental sword of some kind, I think.
Oh.
That's like a ram's head on the other. That's sick. So it is a primary weapon symbol. It'll go in that slot. If you have it open, you can put it in there. It will allow you to add this dice to your pool while it's equipped, and then gives you this skill. If you roll that symbol on the melee weapon die, you can spend it to turn it into this fancy hit symbol. And if you roll a miss on that die, you get 1 free reroll in the preparation phase when you're rolling it.
Like, I'd like to equip this.
Yep, but you can't use it right now. But in next preparation phase, you now have a 5th die, so Mel will actually get to choose out of 5 dice which 4 she wants to roll now. Which is super neat. And then we'll continue. All right, go ahead.
All right, then I'm going to use this arrow. Counts as a move in an attack. I'll do 1 damage, and then I'll just use the other die to do the 2nd damage to attack this guy.
Now he's dead. Objective is free, and that gem is free to pick up.
So I think I have to put this here.
Just put it on your board.
And that there, so we collected another gem. That's
so you need to get that girl out. It's up to you. I don't need to. You need to.
Then I have a movement, which I will move to Rob here. Okay.
All right. So now enemy reactions.
Yep.
Please be gentle. Oh, we got more gems.
Just 1.
1 more gem.
Yep.
So I'll click that. Still 2 on the board.
And a food. We got to grab.
And the food, yeah. Only 1 enemy reacts for every card displayed. All right. So guard.
Oh.
We'll get a block token. So he'll clear that at the end of the round. So if we go to attack him now, unfortunately... Oh, I can get him. I can still get him. Because I can do... I have 2 arrows and a sword, so I can range attack, knock the block off, hit him again, then move in and slice him.
You were right, though, Purple getting...
Well, he's dead, so I'm going to actually click this. Oh, it changes it. Sorry. So we'll go back. I see. You have to tell either one if they're dead right away. Okay. So we already did this guy. It's still the same. It's fine. But the red guy, closest one, is just going to move 1 towards... It doesn't matter. We're in the same space. Perfect. And then my turn. Things have changed. But I don't care about this guy. He's not doing anything to me. He's not keeping me in the space. So I will just spend an energy. Nope, I don't spend that yet. I can shoot 2 spaces away, but there is no enemy 2 spaces away, so that doesn't matter using my range shot. So I'll just use a regular arrow, knock away the block. I'll then spend an energy to move. Nope, I have another arrow still, sorry. I'll do 1 damage token on him, please. And again, if I didn't do the other damage, that token would get cleared at the end of the whole round. But we normally don't use them. These enemies are low health, so it's like they're pretty much killed right away. And then I will spend energy to move one. And then I will melee attack to finish him off. And then we automatically get the goodies. And I will mark those in the app. And this last die is just going to do nothing.
Okay.
Done. So now enemies will go.
Only red.
So go ahead.
So this guy's in my space. He's going to deal 1 damage.
Oh, yeah.
To me. I think that's okay. And then this guy, nothing happens. There's nobody to pull them anywhere. So they're just going to stay where they are. Okay.
Okay.
That's it.
Cleanup phase. Any damage, block tokens, all that. Stun's gone. We're end of round 3.
Oh, last round.
So enemy reactions are going to happen between us again. Okay. And then we go to round 4 of 4. So we need to... So it will automatically move you to the exit, right? So we kind of won already as long as you don't take too much damage on the automatic move out.
Yep.
So if you can make sure you're not in enemy space and there's like no enemies between you and the exit, we're good, better than good. But we still want the food. We probably should still kill the guy at the exit or we're both taking a damage.
Yeah, like, oh, and I have this. I might as well throw this in there.
Well, you got to take one out.
Yeah, let's take out...
So basically it's all like melee symbols on here. So it's like tons of fighting, no movement.
I need movement.
This one will give you the ability on your weapon, but otherwise it's like, I don't think there's...
Actually, I need the movement, so maybe I'm not even...
Oh, there's 2 misses though. So it's a little more high risk, but it allows you to specialize more.
Yeah, I'm not actually going to use that because I need more either the range or the move so that we can kill them.
2 misses, what the heck?
This is good.
So if I dash, I get dash into here, and then range attack that guy, I'm good. I don't even need to reroll any, because I'll just do a dash right now.
I'm also good. Do I stay? Because it doesn't matter to kill all the guys. Okay, I'm going to stay in this stance. I can dash out of here. I don't take a damage. And then I have 2 moves, so I can
Because you're in the sneaky stance, right?
Sneaky stance, yep.
Nice.
Yep. Okay.
That's cool.
Done.
All right. So who's going first, though? We got to set turn order.
Maybe you go first? I don't know.
Sure. Put me first. Okay, and I'll go, and I'm going to pick up the food, and then I'm going to do 2 range attacks. Well, I guess only 1 I need. Yeah, because I can't get the other guy. So I'll just do 1 range attack. Oh, yeah. And then I'm done. That's it. I don't need to even spend the other ones. I'm good. Because again, at the end of the last cleanup phase, you auto get to dash to the exit.
I was just thinking that potentially to save a damage, maybe I should have gone first.
Yeah,
because I could kill both of them.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Right? Because we don't know what this guy will do.
So I was here, I dashed. Here I am. Put this guy back, whatever. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, because I can range attack the guy behind me.
If none of you guys give her trouble for takesy backsies.
Well, no, I'm just thinking.
If I did that, I would get in trouble.
2 move, 1, 2, and then a melee.
Okay,
cool. Grab the food on the way. Just save a damage potentially because we don't know what
the
reaction would do.
True.
Sorry.
No, it's all good. You got to worry about your health.
I don't want to take any more damage.
So
and
enemy reaction.
Oh, we got the food. Oh, yeah, it does better.
All right. So red guys, there's none. Blue guys, oh, there's none. Green guys, oh, there's none. No enemies are left. Continue. We definitely pick up the food. And then now it's my turn. So I will do nothing. And I will start the enemy turns. Activate all surviving enemies, At least it shows none of them here, but it's still telling you to activate them. Start the cleanup phase. So we go through these steps like normal. Then at the end, we will do our auto escape at the end of the final cleanup. We're not taking an extra round. So final cleanup, we do our little dash to the exit. There's no enemies. We started in, ended in, went through, so no extra damage is taken. You're home, I'm home. We got what we did. And then it's asking us, do you want to do another round? No, we don't want to play an extra round. And then mark all the complete objectives. We save the flower girl. We left from exit B. We confirm it. Each here recovers 1 health and 1 energy. So I have 1 energy that's spent still, unfortunately.
And I have 1 health that I've lost.
And you have 1 health you're missing. So you're at 5 health ready.
Yep.
I'm at 7. Okay. Click on anything we collected. We collected all this. We're good. We got +1 victory point, 1 of 1 combat 1. Gems, we got 4 gold worth of gems. So they're gold is the term. They're gems, but they're also gold. Loot collected. We got the card 101. Great. We're going to leave combat. And I think we save right here. Or do we keep... I don't know. Like, yeah, I'm sure it's going to load up right here so we can read this next one, I think is a good spot. Oh, yeah, look at the top. It shows that we've completed one now.
Yep.
So I'm going to say this is the start of the next one, so we'll stop right here. But that means we're going through another story, another fight, before we get to a rest. So good thing we're not too beat up after the first one. But we do have a food if necessary. But the cool part is when you heal, I read this morning again when I was reading the rule book. If we spend a gold for like 2 health and a rest, and I'm assuming the same works with food, maybe it doesn't. But it says if you spend gold for 2 health points, you don't have to use it on the same character. You can use like 1 health on this guy, 1 health on that guy, whatever. But I don't know if the food works that way. If we could eat the food as a party, but I think it does. And then we could, one person gets a health back, one person gets energy. I'm not sure. It kind of thematically a little weird, but all this stuff is available to everybody. So it's like, that's the party can use what they need kind of thing. But I could be wrong. So anyways, I will select this. I will exit to main menu. Oh, it reminds you it has some cool music that you're not going to hear in the stream. And there we go. So that is our first episode of a campaign of Fateforge, Chronicles of Kaan, playing our first scenario, our tutorial. I think it's a good spot to stop. If you want to see more, check the playlist down below later. When I schedule the next stream, it'll be in that playlist that is in the video description. Or make sure you're subscribed, turn on notifications if you're watching this recently after it happened, because you'll get notified when we go live so you don't miss a stream. And we're going to keep playing this. I'll probably schedule an episode Monday or Tuesday night. We'll talk about it off stream and I'll schedule it shortly. So stay tuned for that, or you'll see it in your subscription feed or whatever. But if you're watching this years down the road, again, just check the playlist that I put down in the video description and you'll find all the other episodes that happened there. And we'll continue to play this live, blind, have some fun playing with you guys, going through it, exploring the story, the adventure, the puzzle-y scenarios. But yeah, quick thoughts. Obviously, quick thoughts. Mark, thank you for being a member for 13 months. It was fun and Mel got loot. Yeah, not happy about that. I'm just kidding. No, as long as one of us got loot, I'm happy. But
if it was a bow, I would have put it in for him to have.
Yeah. But no, that's great. One of us got a weapon. We found some food. We found tons of gold. And again, the app knows what we found. It knows what our ending health is, and it will adjust going forward. So I would not be surprised in the next scenario it maybe grabs some new enemies that are maybe a little more difficult to kind of punish us a little bit for being too awesome. And I'm okay with that. That is totally fine. But quick thoughts so far, very early thoughts. We'll obviously discuss as we keep playing the game, give our thoughts as we go. So those who actually watch throughout the campaign or go check out the last episode whenever we get there to hear our final thoughts on it. But yeah, we'll give our thoughts as we go. But just initial thoughts, Mel, anything on like components, gameplay, experience, time, compared to any other games, thoughts on Fateforge Chronicles of Kaan, for those who care.
One thing I think about this game is that it took a lot of very good things from other games and put it all together.
Any game is kind of, you can say that about, because there's really no new mechanics now anymore. It's just
right,
everyone
but sometimes people take things that are not great and they put them in,
true.
Right? But I feel like this game has taken a lot of very good things from a lot of good games and put it into one game, and I really enjoy the way this game plays. I like that it has a low barrier of entry. I think like the way that they've laid out the rules is nice. The way that they're slowly introducing you to things is nice. Like they don't throw you into some like crazy combat, like thinking you're gonna lose turn one. You know, like I just think that the game flows. It teaches you how to play the game, and it's fun. I like it. I'm actually really excited to play again. And I was saying that to Rob after we just like dabbled with it. I was like, I think I really am going to like this game. So
just to follow up, we got a time delay obviously on the stream and the chat and everything. Brian's answering my question about food, saying it's on page 22. Some locations will allow you to buy food. Food generally costs 1 gold per food token and is placed in the party bag. A hero may discard a food token anytime outside of a combat scene to recover 1 health and 1 energy per food token discarded. Yeah, it does say a hero. You're right. You're right. But definitely the gold above does say you can split it. You recover health to be distributed among heroes freely and not necessarily in multiples of 2 per hero. But it's two health per gold spent. So I guess food does not work the same way. Thank you so much. Since you only heal 1 health, 1 energy automatically after each combat scene, you can only pay gold to heal during a rest scene. It's important to stock up on food and or healing potions. Rest scenes happen once every 2 or 3 combat scenes, so if you get beaten up badly in an early fight, you will have a hard time winning the remaining combat scenes without replenishing health through food or potions. Yes, Keith, thank you so much for tonight. For today, I appreciate it. You have a good night. Yes, I'll try to feel better. Dragon saying very sword and sorcery like game. It feels like sword and sorcery a little bit, but definitely not as complex. That game's like a 60 or 70 page rule book, tons of things to know. Enemies are a little more complicated in how they work. I'm sure we'll see enemies that are a little more complex.
Sure. But that's what I mean. Like, it slowly builds you into the game.
Yes. And like I said at the beginning, too, I love the way they have, like, don't overwhelm you with locations on a map. You discover them throughout the game. The rules, they hide a bunch on the last few pages of the rule book. They don't overwhelm you with them at first. You slowly experience them your first time playing through the game. Great. They lock a bunch of enemies away in separate boxes. So you're only pulling enemies that you're experiencing at the beginning, only out of a box or two. You don't have all the enemies to dig through, like a whole tray of miniatures to dig through to find the ones you need. They're literally very clearly on the box. I love the way it's stored. I love the idea of hiding all the cards in that unlock box. And slowly you're pulling enemies out. Slowly you're pulling items out. And it'll be different every time you play. I like the little story cards to remind us. If we come back a week or two later and we see the story card and we look through our story deck, we're like, oh yeah, we met the flower girl. Oh yeah, we did this. Oh yeah, we did that. I love that stuff. I think it's great. I love the easy save. I love the app saving me from holding a giant book and flipping to this entry and flipping to that entry and flipping to this entry. And if you follow the cat, flip to this entry. And if you chose to fight the guards, you flip to this entry. And then, oops, I dropped the book. Oh, what page was I on? What was going on? Like,
And by the way, you got to check for the erratas.
Yeah. I love the way they just have a live app. They can update, correct, add things to. They have a battle mode in there, solo mode. They have rule reminders in the tutorial. Great. I love when an app can be condensed into just like a phone or a tablet, or a book, sorry, a quest campaign book can be, like, they have to be apps, preferable web apps. But even if you're designing a game like this, make it just a web app. Do not include a giant book with your game. I know some people love having all that analog stuff at their table, but literally 100% of publishers that make a giant campaign book on a crowdfunding campaign screw it up every time. First printing, second printing, third printing, it doesn't even matter. Somehow they will screw it up so it breaks. There's typos, there's errata, there's all these issues. This doesn't connect to that. Here's a sticker sheet to update your book that's completely invalid. All that stuff. Or they end up just releasing a PDF of it later that you have to play with anyway. So stop killing trees, stop adding to shipping costs, stop delaying production because you want to print a giant book for no reason. We all have apps, we all have phones, or access to apps, we all have computers. I mean, not everybody does, but if you're buying board games on a crowdfunding campaign, how the hell did you get to that crowdfunding campaign? You had a device. So I prefer this way. Save money on the game. Generally, I'm assuming it saves money with manufacturing, shipping weight, container size, box size, all that stuff by not including a giant heavy book. I appreciate that. Saves me some table space because I can usually prop up a tablet or like a laptop off to the side. I mean, maybe that doesn't save too much space, but a foldable one would. But I love it. I love that it's in an app. And then this app takes it a little further and does the whole like hides things from you and helps you with setup and stuff. But even if you're just making a game like this where it's like choose your own path or whatever through a book, do it in an app and don't waste your time with a book. Useless. I prefer this way. I prefer my playthrough not to be held up by errata and misprints and stuff like that. And I hate being the first on a crowdfunding campaign just to get the worst version. I think it's great what they did here. This game is refreshing in that it's quick. I love the puzzling nature. I love how it's got like specific amount of rounds and a little bit of pressure. I know that's what the apps do, based on someone telling me for the apps for Star Wars, Imperial Assault, and for Descent, the second Descent. I never played them. I played the Descent one a little bit, and I remember people didn't like that it just basically turned the game into co-op by adding like basically a timer and creating pressure on the player to try to race. I didn't know if I would like that much, but this game is doing that, and I like it. So maybe I would like the Descent or the Imperial Assault apps that do that, I think, if I'm understanding correctly. But yeah, I love how it's condensed. I love how it doesn't, so far, take up a lot of table space. I love how the tiles are easy to find, not too complex. I love how there's no hexes and trying to learn line of sight and all that stuff. Like, they shaved off the crap and kept just the good stuff in it. So it's still kind of like a lighter game, but definitely not a light game. It is like a medium-ish weight dungeon crawling campaign game. And we're all sick of super long campaigns, at least I am. We're all sick of giant boxes full of miniatures that have to be painted and sorted through and all that. I love that it's just using discs.
Same.
Which are kind of just like standees. But the discs don't block. That's why I like chip theory games too, with the chips. You can see everything on the board from the side. You don't have standees blocking other standees or blocking tokens on the tile. Everything is like flat, which is very nice. And you can see everything at a glance. And the cards work. The storage system, the saving system, the app system, it's all just so clean and efficient. And like the fat is not there. And I even looked through some of the rules coming up. They're nothing crazy. They're just like normal stuff we've seen in other games. But it's nice that they did the whole kind of like Fantasy Flight Games, like learn to play idea and rules reference kind of idea by only giving the player what they need to know to get the damn game on the table and start playing. And then hide other stuff later that's not important yet. And discover that as your first playthrough. But then your next playthrough, you know everything. Just play through the game and you got it. So I don't know. For the I look at the price, I forget what it was. It was not that expensive because we were going to buy it at Gen Con.
Yeah, we were.
100% I was going to buy this game if that tells you anything. Based on us looking into it, I watched some videos. I read the rulebook. We went to Gen Con. We got a demo of it. And I was like, when I saw it in person, the guy explained it to me and he was telling me like the whole working together and a puzzling and the cooperative nature. And I was like, at first I saw the wooden discs and I was like, that's a little weird. That's a little chip theory kind of style. I don't know. We'll see. But when they started explaining the puzzle nature of it and trying to do this in so many turns and all the enemies being different types and having different abilities and you got to worry about the reaction step and it's kind of hidden in the app. And once he said all the stuff hidden in the app too, I was like, oh, Descent, Lord of the Rings, Mansions of Madness. Like we're all, like, you are speaking my language, my friend. I'm like, I'm in. I want this game. I knew it right away. And so far, just playing a little bit of it, it is doing more than I thought. I'm loving it even more so far. And I know it's just early days. I know it's very simplified. I know they're being gentle to us. But man, it's got Fateforge, it's got rest scenes, it's got some of that stuff from like Sword and Sorcery, the new edition of Sword and Sorcery, where you'll have time tokens in the rest phase to spend to visit things and do things. You can't do everything. Kind of reminds me of those city phases. Yep. We haven't done them yet, but just based on the rule book, I'm like, oh, I see what they're doing. So it should be pretty interesting. I love the map stuff, going around the map, like the micro macro game. I think that's kind of fun. That's a cool way to do it. I like how it has the story, then the fighting, but the story is way interactive. It feels meaningful. It's not too long. And then the fight is like easy to set up, kind of straightforward. And then you can just get to the gameplay and the puzzle and have fun with that. And then after, some nice light story. It's like, feels like the perfect amount of both things. I could be okay with a longer combat scene. I'd be fine with that. But I like how it stayed clean and the components aren't overwhelming. It doesn't take up a ton of space on your shelf. And still you're feeling like you're playing an epic game, but not taking all day. Unless you want it to take all day. Because you could just keep playing until you want to save, which is sick. The game's so clean and flexible is how I would describe it. Like clean, just like no extra junk. It's like, it's not like it was a crowdfunding campaign, and I'm sure they had I never went to the crowdfunding page, but I'm sure it had a list of like, here's all the stuff in the box, tons of tiles, tons of dice, tons of minis, blah, blah, blah. But like, really, they kind of went for, let's make a clean game and not worry so much about, let's jam on 75 extra large boxes to upsell people. And maybe the deluxe version, maybe they have one expansion, I know. But the fact is, retail box still feels premium, still feels great. And there's not a lot of extra junk. But yet I'm going to play a full campaign, and the campaign is only 3 acts. And so to me, that seems like, and roughly, supposedly they said it was something like 30-ish hours. If you're playing like kind of like normal, the guys at Gen Con said it was roughly a 30-hour campaign, I think. Maybe 30 or 35, I think they said. That was months ago. I can't remember exactly. but something like that. And to me, that is like refreshing. I love campaigns. I love progressing. I love gaining experience. I love getting new items. I love leveling up. I love fighting harder enemies, more complex puzzles ahead, more challenges. But I don't need like 60 scenarios of the same game for that long. And then they're hard to get back into. At least this has good references and stuff. So if we do pause and you do come back because it's kind of long and your friends don't show up that often, the reference sheets are great. The back of the rule book's great. And the app will remind you stuff. The story deck will remind you to get back into it. I love when they've thought about those kind of situations. I think it's really cool. Ball Guy Games, thank you for the super chat. Yes, finally a proper rant. You're welcome.
I agree with everything you said too. And the only thing that I would say as well is that this feels like a game that you could play with somebody as their like first dungeon crawler.
Yes.
Right? And see if they even like the concept.
And app-driven game too.
And app-driven game too. Yeah, exactly.
Like I always thought the Fantasy Flight ones are so easy to get into.
Yeah.
They're so, but like this is even easier.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Yeah, so you could even play with like I don't know the age on the box of this, but you could play with like your kids, I don't know, depending on their age, and because it's also, as Rob said, it's a game that you can stop. So once they stop losing interest, you can be like, okay, let's pick it up later.
So it's 14 plus.
Oh.
But again, it's 14 plus because of that's
Part.
the sweet toy safety guide restriction. If you want it to be less than 14 plus on your box, you have to send it for toy safety testing. But the community, like, they don't do that. It saves money. You judge it if you're a parent, whether your kids can handle the theme, the complexity, whatever.
Yeah, like so far we haven't gone far into the story to know if there's something that's like inappropriate, but if the community says 8 plus, like that would be what I would think as well.
But it's literally only one person.
But I was thinking that along the same lines that you could play with, like your teenagers,
Yeah, I do think, you could play this with like a 10 plus year old.
Yeah.
Probably, if they're a gamer.
And
You know.
Yeah, exactly. Again, we're judging this on what we've played so far. It could get more complex. It could get, as you said, the scenario is like only a couple rounds. Like, who knows? Like, we could go into one where
There could be like a
10,
20-round
12,
scenario.
20 rounds, and we have to do something crazy and epic, and there's like enemies just keep spawning and things like that. We don't know.
But I don't think it will because they put 60 minutes on the box. I remember them saying like a story plus combat is roughly an hour.
Yeah.
And it's your choice if you want how many of those you want to put back to back in an evening or a day.
Yeah.
If you want to play 12 hours in one day with some friends, you can rock 12 hours in one day, no problem. You just keep going. It's so cool.
True.
But the general play time is one story plus one combat equals 60 minutes. So I don't think any of the combats will go that crazy out of that because then that doesn't ring true. But
they could have a shorter story.
Oh, yeah, true.
Right, with a longer, like, I'm excited to see the upcoming boss fight, especially as we get into later chapters, right?
Yes,
and how does that evolve the game? We'll see.
And when are we going to be knocked out? When are we going to lose tons of health?
And then the corruption cards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When are we're crawling along the line to a rest phase, like hoping we can just have one health left to make it there,
Yeah.
Drink that potion just to make it. Oh. Yeah, it should be fun.
Yeah. So I'm excited to see where this game goes, but I'm liking it a lot so far.
Yeah, me too. All right, so stay around. The next stream will be another episode of this. So stay tuned. Thank you all for watching. Thanks for super chats. Thanks for supporting. Thanks to all. I accidentally moved it off the screen. 72 of you have clicked the like button so far. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That'll definitely help the channel out a ton, help people find it. It's free. Click subscribe, click like. You guys know the deal. But thank you for supporting the channel. Of course, thanks for just spending time here. Even if you're watching later, I still like you too. Even if you weren't here live, I understand. But yeah, feel free to leave comments down below if you're watching later. And we'll hopefully see you in the next episode. And stay tuned to the channel for that. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.